Neither do I. I don't have anything planned. I do, but it's later in the evening, so never mind. Okay.
Wait, you started it?
Yeah.
Okay. Faith. Wait, should I just go through this like... I'll just flip through it, okay?
Sure.
No, wait, we just started it?
Yeah.
Don't we need like an introduction or something?
No, I'll get to it.
Okay.
I include that in the recording.
So,
If there's anything I would want you to read, it's the first page. That. I mean, I'd want you to read everything, but like
yeah.
right now.
Can I read this properly after we stop recording?
I'll send you a digital copy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's really loud. Okay, so you've denoted who wrote what with the picture of eyes.
Yeah. Good observation.
Huh. Nice, what is it called? Mark? The artist mark. Watermark.
Watermark, I guess.
I really like this one.
Yeah. Guess who made it? Guess who made it?
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't know who made it.
Sparge.
Oh, sucks. Okay, cut that out. It's okay.
Too
you don't
late.
have to. Yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to. It's fine. Okay. So I'm guessing this one. You made this one.
Yeah.
You know, I really like this.
Same. I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, even though, like, from an art perspective, I really like it.
Yeah. From a design perspective, nobody does.
Yeah.
That's the point. I mean, I don't know if that's the point, but that's my point.
I mean, experimentation is, like, you can clearly see the experimentation here, and that's really
Yeah. This is
interesting.
This is what evoked, like, this is what Parth showed one of his professors, and that's when he said, "Oh, you have to learn the rules before you break them."
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is not design, right? So
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
even show a design professor?
Exactly. We still wanted to get that feedback though, but it's
Somehow I get really drawn to this page.
yeah.
I don't know why.
I think it's the most profound
Yeah,
At
I mean,
least-
even
at
though
least-
I didn't read anything.
visually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
visually, yeah, because there's a lot of like contrast.
It is. Yeah. It is also my favorite page because it imitates a exam sheet,
Yeah.
and like none of us thought of anything that creative.
Yeah.
Like I ended up, my page is like, it reminds me of Persona. At least that.
Yeah, this right?
Yeah, the colors and yeah, that's just me playing around with the brush tool. And there's a setting where you can make the brush like spin as you go.
And wants to read your book. You know, I really like the yellow text.
Yeah.
And like, even though it's borderline unreadable, I still love it.
Yeah, it is. It
Right?
absolutely is. I didn't even think of readability. I just
Yeah.
wanted to get shit on paper.
I feel like all the fonts that you've chosen,
Yeah.
the way you've chosen to like put your text, it says a lot about like each of you as a person.
Absolutely. We made this back in July or April. No, I don't know. I don't remember. Which is like when I was like packing my bag last night, I'm like, oh shit, these don't have dates. We need to add like a date to each issue.
Yeah.
Because if you have like 7 issues, how will someone know when which issue came out?
Also, I love the binding.
Yeah. That was Abhik, and it was Abhik's idea. What we initially wanted to do was, do you know those some Nike shoes? They have the tag on them, which is like a zip tie tag. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's it's just a huge zip tie and it has a tag at the end. That's kind of what we wanted to do, but we couldn't find those kinds of zip ties.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the first issue.
Yeah.
This is a messed up.
Have you published this anywhere?
This is just self-published.
As in, like, have you put this out somewhere?
Yeah,
Like where?
it's on a website.
Oh.
This is the second issue, and I got you a fucked up copy because it's the only one we had. We still have to bind more. So basically, this part, I mean not this part, but like this end is supposed to be on that side. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
this is
it's
supposed to be the
yeah.
start.
I accidentally cut over here instead of over here. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
This is clearly parts.
Yeah.
Whose is this? Is this Abhik's? No. Identity.
Thank you. This is the fanciest cortado I've ever had. Like, what is this? This is just a barrel of brown sugar. I love that.
Is this yours?
Yeah. I thought you could tell by my t-shirt.
No, I didn't recognize it at all.
I mean, to be fair, you've only seen it once, so yeah.
Plus it's blurred, so.
Yeah, but it clearly looks like me.
No, I mean I couldn't tell. Somehow this looks like not you. I really like this.
I mean,
You made it? Oh.
I don't know if you know, but that's Russian rubles, the currency,
Did you make like the art as well?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I did use some random AI to generate this dude and the cats, and he came with an umbrella. But I told the prompt for an upside down umbrella, but
Yeah.
it didn't give me that, so I had to
I mean,
manually
this,
do
oh,
it.
you manually did this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does this mean?
Yes.
Umbrella.
Yeah. For pets.
Oh, petrol. That was something in Russian.
For a moment, I thought I made a bad design, but no, you're just dumb.
No.
Because everyone else got it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. The moment I made this, I just knew it was going in my portfolio. If I make one. I mean, I'm gonna have to make one, but yeah. Because apparently, I mean, from an objective standpoint, they give value to integration with AI. So I can just say, yeah, I used AI to make this.
Yeah. I don't even know why they do that.
I don't even know if it's
Did
true.
you
I'm
make
just
this?
yeah,
Both.
yeah. Parth clicked the photos for that, but yeah. This came out very recently. This was October. we
I
we
feel like I get drawn to this page and then this
that's
page.
yeah, that's Aryan again.
Hmm.
The same guy who made the red page here.
Yeah.
And we're also selling this.
Oh, you're selling this?
We're selling the second copy only. The second copy isn't available online.
Hmm.
It's only offline.
What about this copy? Between the two copies, what do you think changed? Because there's a lot of changes.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you more of the backstory,
Hmm.
and because I genuinely cannot understand or explain why it came out the way it did,
Hmm.
but I can explain what happened behind the scenes. So after the first issue was out, we were like really pumped, excited, because all we did was we printed 8 copies so that each of us could have 2 of them.
Yeah.
We binded them. That was really fun,
Hmm.
and we finished. We stopped there, and then we're like, oh, let's start with the second one.
Hmm.
So we did, but since Aryan is in Delhi in Ashoka,
Hmm.
Ashoka University,
Yeah.
and Abhik is in Ahmedabad, it was very difficult for us to coordinate like online,
Hmm.
because the first issue was also made online, but at least we were home and we had time. So when the first issue was out, everyone went to college, and now everyone has busy schedules.
Yeah.
So it took, I think, I don't know if it was twice as long, but it took much longer to make this issue, and 90% of not at 90, but like 75% of this is just me and Parth, and the main contribution that they gave were their pages and just a little bit of thought here and there.
Right.
But it got really frustrating to have meetings and nobody sounded like they gave a fuck about it, but in reality they were just
All
busy.
yeah.
And it was actually like
There's an ant on your hand.
yeah, it was actually fun for me and Parth.
Hmm.
But when it was done, they were like, oh, this is nice, but it doesn't feel like us. So I'm like, obviously, you guys didn't even contribute.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was more, I think in terms of me and Parth, this was more design,
Hmm.
because Parth started to learn more actual graphic design.
Hmm.
So his pages are very readable and very on the grade and all of that, right? I mean, I don't know about this one, but this is before the typography course. So
Okay.
yeah, but we understood design elements better. This is like the most design shit I've made
Yeah.
ever. And
One question.
yeah,
Who decided on this pink?
me and Parth. Pink and green. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm really drawn to it.
Yeah.
I love this shade of pink.
yeah, it's the CMYK pink.
Hmm.
It's a magenta basically. And
Oh, it's the default pure one.
yeah, the default pure one. And the cover and the back pages are mostly in purple and yellow.
Hmm.
So I don't know, we're all just drawn to like dual tone colors.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
No, I'm just playing with this ant.
So why? I think
I
you're
don't know.
confusing it.
It's fun.
It wants to go home and it's just.
Let me just. Let it go down. Yeah, that's that.
Oh my god, that ant is lagging. It stops moving for a second and it moves so rapidly later on.
Yeah. Just wanted to show you that. Oh my god. Let me
Really
just
good.
keep this back.
Wait,
in
let me
because-
just see both of them together at the same
Yeah,
time.
sure.
Yeah, I realized. Somehow I'm really drawn to the first one.
Same. The first one.
I feel like there's a lot more effort into it, and that's why you can see that clearly.
Yeah. The second one was like, it wasn't done half-assedly, but it was just not as. It
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't-
although she didn't give the equal inputs, right?
Yeah, and
So-
this isn't even the like. So the final one is Japanese binding, but we we colored the thread with purple photo ink, so that looked much better.
Yeah.
And it's also properly cut and not like this.
Yeah.
But this
yeah.
is like a special edition, so
Yeah.
and we haven't done anything since, but because we're all just
Hmm.
busy.
Is this like a folder with all your work in it?
It's just my class folder. It's just,
Oh.
I mean, I guess if you consider this work, then sure.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, I keep all of these pages. I don't know why I'm attached to them. I don't like to throw them.
You know what you can do with them later on?
What?
When I practice on my pages.
Huh.
Wait, I think I have it with me right now. Oh yeah, see? When I practice on my pages,
Oh shit.
I just make something over it and I really like it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bro, I love stamps. Even though the most I've played with stamps is like, you know the date stamps you get?
Yeah.
They use it in like billing and stuff.
Yeah, I know, I know.
I got that and I got a green ink pad.
Hmm.
And wait, I have a photo of it.
By the way, look, these are all the sketches I made for the book I made.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't do any of this. There was like little to no planning behind it. It was just intuition and
Hmm.
feeling.
Oh, there's more sketches.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's your birthday.
Yeah. I wanna just scan this page and just put it as a one whole page.
Yeah.
And something I'm gonna make.
Honestly, when you practice on a page, that's a really good background for other things.
Yeah. Because you just it's just in the it is in the background.
Yeah.
Literally.
Plus, it doesn't feel like it feels more like an empty page than a full page, right?
True.
So you feel like you can use it more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so cool. Okay, damn. So I'll tell you what this is for the sake of the recording, and then I won't acknowledge the recording again. Okay, so just this one time, and then
Okay.
I'll rarely, like, if I have to.
Hmm.
So, welcome to Document Static. This is just recording conversations. That's it.
Yeah.
Like we're just talking, and it's just there.
Yeah.
I will tell you that. Okay, you can talk about anything and anyone you want, just like you would in a normal conversation. The only thing I want you to be mindful of is that
It's
it is
public.
It's public. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out there for anyone to listen. But also that if you really think about it, if it's even if it's an hour-long recording, not a lot of people are going to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, I don't want to interfere my conscience with yours when it comes to who you want to talk about and what you want to talk about. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll definitely censor the names.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's up to you. Again, like I don't bother because I know half the people who I'm talking about are not even gonna listen to it, and if
Yeah.
one they do, it's gonna be too late to even care. And the reason I even bother is because it maintains the genuinity of the conversation for me. Because if I'm actually having a real conversation, I'm not saying this person or that person.
Yeah.
I'm saying who they are. And
Plus, I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, I saw some of your previous videos, right? They're like 2-hour-long conversations with, like, people, right? And
Yeah.
if you think about it, like, no viewer is gonna want to listen to the whole thing, right?
absolutely.
So if you think about it, the main people who this recording is for, it's for the people who are sitting together
Yeah.
and talking.
Yeah, and I doubt even they're gonna listen back to
Yeah.
because they're a part of it.
But I mean, if you keep your channel open and public, then 10 years later, someone is like, oh, how was I when I was 19?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point of this.
You
Like,
know, that just makes me think of today. I was just thinking of how cool it would be if I had like a CCTV camera in my room, and like it's just for myself, and I have to make sure that it's not connected to the cloud, right? So that no one can just see me, right?
Yeah.
But it's just for me. And then like if I ever wonder, oh, what was I doing on, what is today's date? Yeah, December 1st, Friday, 2023.
Yeah.
I can just like pull up the CCTV camera footage and I can
Yeah.
just, but that would be really creepy,
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of results that would yield. Like the thing is, so the reason I even thought of this in the first place was because
Is it recording?
it is.
Okay.
I was gonna keep it upside down, but I realized there's a mic here as well, so I'd rather not.
So there's a mic here and a mic here.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I know there's one here for sure, but I'm guessing there has to be one here too. So I'm gonna
I think
keep
there's
it
a
like this.
speaker here.
There is a speaker.
Yeah.
There could be a mic as well, because it's stereo sound, right? So, anyways, the reason.
Oh yeah, there is. No wait, no. Stereo sound just means that there's two speakers. It doesn't say anything about the microphone.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The reason I even thought about this in the first place was because I watched one of my old videos, and I basically told myself the exact advice I needed to know at that moment, and I forgot that I even said the things that I did.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I'm like, damn, I am my greatest therapist.
Oh, recently, I just went through my MacBook storage, right? And it said that I've used up so much of my storage.
Yeah.
I don't know how much my storage was,
Yeah,
but it was like 200 plus GB, right?
yeah,
And I was just thinking, because system took like 150 GB, okay? And I was so
Okay.
fucking confused. I'm like, why the fuck will system take 150 GB? Like, what the fuck is wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
And then turns out, I did some digging, okay? And I got this app that will tell you where the storage is going within the system itself.
Right.
And turns out that this particular folder was taking up so much of my storage. And that folder was basically screen recordings by QuickTime. And there was one screen recording that was 14 hours long that took up 128 gigabytes.
Of what? Like, what was the recording of?
This was back in 2021 when I was making the portfolio for entering MIT.
Oh shit, I remember that.
And like all of us were on VC.
Yeah.
And I just started, I don't know why I started screen recording. I think I wanted to take a screenshot or something.
Yeah.
But I messed that up.
Yeah.
And it was just the whole day's recording, or so I thought. But then I realized that the taskbar, it says the date on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then it was saying something like, I don't know, like April, I don't know what date it was, but it was saying like 28th,
Yeah.
29th, 30th and 1st once I skipped through. So what it was doing was, the moment I shut down my PC, it stopped recording. But the
Oh
moment
my
I
God.
turned it on, it started recording again.
So it was 4 days worth of footage.
Yeah.
Over 14 hours.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
That's crazy.
And then I'm like, see, I really need to delete this because I need a storage.
Yeah.
But then I just don't want to, like, this is such a treasure for me now
It
because
is,
it's
yeah.
like 2 years later and I
It
see
is.
what I'm doing on my fucking PC.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's crazy. Like, if I had screen recordings of what I was doing on my PC
Yeah.
for over 14 hours,
Yeah.
when I'm on, that would be crazy. Like, if I had them right now, that would be crazy.
So, Swarit told me that you should just upload it to YouTube, and I'm like,
No.
okay, I will. I did.
Oh, shit, you
Yeah, and
did?
it's just like unlisted on my
Obviously,
account. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like a
that's-
time capsule.
That's smart. Okay, that's pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Because it doesn't take up any of your own storage, right? But it's still there for you. But the thing is, I don't think it got uploaded because it was too long. It was like processing and stuff. And this was like 2 months ago.
So you uploaded the whole 14-hour thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm pretty sure it didn't get uploaded.
Wait. I think it's there. Your videos. Oh, also look. Recently, I found out this thing. Do you remember when we were on Discord? We were having this
Yeah.
Discord study thing,
Yeah.
and I just have this video of that for some reason. And then I
Wait,
look at it.
You actually recorded
Look.
that?
Yeah, I mean, I was streaming it, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then this just brought back so many memories. I'm like, wait, how the fuck did I even manage to make something like this? Like, how do you do that?
I remember it a lot.
Yeah.
I was going through my screenshots last night.
Hmm.
Not last night, day before, and I just found a screenshot of that, like
Oh.
the banner page for your YouTube
Yeah,
where it
yeah,
said
yeah.
study with me.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Your videos. Fuck. The only thing I can find in this account is my self-improvement video.
Oh yes. Isn't that the only video you made?
Yeah, you know, the only reason.
Yeah, I know. I know. But you don't have to go there. I mean, you can.
Fuck,
Sure.
it's gone. Fuck, that's sad.
Did you already delete it from your laptop?
Yeah, I did because
Oh.
I needed the space.
That's crazy, though. That's a lot of.
That's
Yeah.
really sad. I think it's there somewhere where it says I didn't, maybe it says something like not uploaded,
Yeah.
and then I'll have the chance to download it again.
Yeah. I don't know. Like a few days earlier, I don't remember, this week only. I just found this collection of photographs that that were just like really old, like from the 1980s to like 2012, when they still use film cameras, and they got it developed and shit, and it was just a collection of photos, and I don't know, it's I think one of the most valuable things I have, and I never realized the value of it as a child because I'm like, oh, it's just photos.
Yeah.
But now that I'm into cameras and into film, it's like there's like some of my favorite photos are of like photos clicked on expired film and like just distorted. Like it's just it's so nostalgic because so back in the day, a 35mm roll of film was for 35 rupees, and it would take 35 photos, and it's so funny, like they would give you a book, they would print it in a book and they'd give it to you in a book, and the 35th photo was basically a preview of all 35
yeah,
photos,
yeah.
and that's just so cool to me. Like, you don't do that shit anymore. And I want to find just I like there's some places in camp where they just sell like old cameras, like on the street, right? Just chori ka maal, whatever.
And have the film still in it.
Yeah.
So you want to develop it.
Yeah, not even that. Like, I just want the camera because
Yeah.
digital is it's so easy. Like, you just plug it into your laptop and
Yeah.
it's there. But film is like you have to go through this whole process of developing it
Yeah.
and then making sure it comes out good. You need to have a dark room and all these chemicals. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And then you get these like photos that you practically made, and that's beautiful. Like, I wish there was more of that. And you know what, that inspired me, that to print my photos, I would just print it in that format, which is like 15 by 10 centimeters, because so I shoot in 4:3,
Yeah.
and on Instagram I have to upload to 4:5, which is like awkward. Like, it just I told you about this, but I can just print it in 4:3, which is just like 1:2,
Yeah.
and that would be really cool. Like, just having a collection of the photos I took,
Yeah.
and then just making anything out of it. Like, I don't know where I had this thought, but like, imagine a car and every single window, like every single glass pane is just covered with photos of that format, and I'll just
Yeah.
glue it on or something,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it just looks really cool to me.
By the way, have you realized that this water is sweet?
Is it sweet? I don't know, it just tastes so different to me.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's more obvious when you have another drink. Like, this is really bitter, so this is so sweet compared to it.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I think they soak something in this.
Yeah, probably. Or I don't know, like, this reminds me of the tap water I get at home.
Really?
Yeah. Because it tastes like something.
Yeah.
And the actual RO water tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you don't mind, I do have some notes just because I wanted to talk about these things. Oh yeah, did you start wearing contact lenses?
Yeah, I did.
I completely forgot that. I don't know when. So
I think I started wearing contact lenses last October.
Oh no,
last
wait, I
October.
remember. Yeah, I remember.
And I didn't know how to put them on and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
remember.
And
And you
then
started crying.
no, one time I was in this really huge. Oh, what? Did I take a picture?
No, it just
It does that.
It's just auto shutdown.
Okay, so one time I was in this in the MIT hall thing.
Yeah.
So Nachiketsa was taking a lecture,
Yeah.
and I realized that I couldn't see well, and I was like, fuck, my contact lens, like, it's stuck up my eye.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
And I kept like pulling at it, and I got really stressed out, and I was just like started like I was like fuck, oh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And you know those videos where they pull out like contact lenses from people's eyes,
yeah.
and then they show that, you know, don't never leave contact lenses in your eyes.
Yeah.
I was so scared. I thought that's gonna be me. I
Yeah.
thought the contact lens like broke in my eye. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And that was fucked up. And then they asked, I think there was like an empathy session. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
yeah. So then I just stood up and I'm like, so something like, how would you feel if you know, you were wearing contact lenses and then suddenly you realize that one of them is stuck in your eye, so you're trying to take it out, but it's not coming out,
Yeah.
and you're in this huge hall.
Yeah.
And then I mean, I tried to make a joke of it, but then I got really stressed out, so I just went out, and then suddenly I entertained the idea of, what if there is no contact lens in my eye at all. And then I realized that, fuck, if it hurts when I touch my eye, then there's no contact lens there, right?
Yeah.
And then the realization that I was pulling at my eye, that I could have like torn the eye layer. It fucking creeped me out, because you know, right, there's people who just tear their eye layer out. It's really hard to like
Yeah.
fix it and like put it back together. And I'm like, fuck, thank God, I realized that.
Damn.
And then when I went home, I saw like my right contact lens near the mirror,
Yeah.
like dried up. So like
Oh, so
while
you-
putting it in, it fell out, and I didn't realize.
So it was never in there.
Yeah, it was never in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's
So I
really
always make sure that I always have like 2 contact lenses when I'm leaving the house,
scary. Yeah.
because it's easy for it to fall down when you're putting it in, right?
Yeah. Is it worth is it as practical as
Oh,
much
see.
as it costs?
The first month of me putting on lenses, it was horrible. Like, it took me like 30 minutes to take out the lenses out. Okay, and I was like it was just not coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, now it's like a 30-second job.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you just get used to it.
I feel like it's worth the effort. Previously, I was like, I'm gonna get surgery, but then I realized that 1.5, whatever number I have, negative 1.5, that's
Yeah.
like nothing.
Yeah.
People have like negative 3.5, and they're like
Yeah.
surviving, right?
Yeah.
So,
My sister got surgery.
oh really?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't know where. She just
Pune?
Yeah, Pune, obviously.
Hmm.
Yeah, it went perfectly fine. But it was so funny that she had to wear sunglasses for 2 days after that, like
Hmm.
everywhere. But
And she was drugged up, right?
the day the surgery happened, yeah.
Yeah.
But not after.
Not after.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I think I've never really, like in school,
Hmm.
I made a clear distinction between people who had glasses and who didn't.
Exactly. But nowadays, like, it's blurry, right?
Yeah, now it's like I'm one of them, but it doesn't feel like it, because I just put those people in like the nerd section.
Exactly. But now,
I'm like, oh yeah, I am a nerd, but like
Yeah.
not in that way.
nowadays, I realize that glasses, they've just become so normal, right?
You
It
don't
doesn't
even,
show whether if you're a nerd or not, right?
It's not even that. Like sometimes I don't even realize that people have glasses
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
It's just a part of your body, and that's kind of
Yeah.
scary to me.
Yeah.
Like without this I'm fine, but
Yeah.
it's just my brain starts to hurt.
Also, have you realized that some people, they look better with glasses on?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know about me. I feel like I've always looked more natural without them.
Hmm.
But when I wear them, it's like I don't even realize that they
Wait,
have
you know,
them
I
on.
can't even. It doesn't even feel like you're wearing glasses.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel natural, but it doesn't feel like anything much different when I'm wearing them.
You know, I feel like with people who have like really thick frames,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
you can see they're wearing glasses.
Yeah,
But
and
with thin
also-
frames, you can just see through that, right?
Yeah, and I used to have square glass, like rectangle.
Yeah, that one, right?
They were horrible.
Yeah.
Not even like the ones, remember, like they were grey, and this is like back in 2020 when we met for the first time. Those were like tame. I had like thick frames and like small lenses. I looked so bad.
Also, it's coming back in style, right?
What?
Yeah, like for the girls, not
Oh,
for
okay.
the men.
I mean, it's
And they're like making like nerd
Oh, right,
node
right, right,
fashion.
right. Yeah. I've seen a bit of it.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly, I think it's really cool, but also it's like,
I don't think everyone can pull it off.
yeah.
Like I know girls that have rectangle glasses and they just look like you can just change the shape and you look so much better.
Exactly.
But I don't know if people don't care or they don't know how to research.
You know, I always associated like these rectangle glasses with like oiled up hair, you know, right?
Yeah,
That's like the Indian nerd, right?
it is. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have a need for surgery, but I just don't like having to remove and take off glasses every
You
time.
know,
I
you
have to
should
leave
try
the house.
having contact lenses. Just
I
try it
might.
once.
I might.
I mean, they are expensive, but
It's not about the price.
you can
it's
forget
just-
about them.
Exactly, yeah. I don't want to, that's the thing. Like,
Why?
because I'm still impaired. Like, I'd rather just get it over with and get surgery.
But like, what's your number?
Minus 1.75 and minus 1.5.
Exactly, that's nothing. You don't need surgery for that.
Yeah, but if I can get one, then it'd be cool.
Yeah, but try contact lenses first and
I
then
will.
decide if you need surgery or not.
I will. Or the thing is, see, I've never seen my glasses as a piece of fashion.
Hmm.
If I eventually end up doing that, then I won't need to do that either. Because then I'll just enjoy wearing glasses. I just never thought of it as a fashion thing. I just, oh, it looks good on my face, so that's it.
Oh, really? You know,
Yeah.
for me, I didn't even have glasses. But then when I was in 7th grade, I'm like, oh my god, glasses are so cool. I want glasses. So I used to go to the eye doctor and I'm like, I
You
think I have
faked it?
glasses.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then based on that, I got my first glasses, and they were like 0.5 numbered. Okay,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
0.25 and 0.5.
That was mine as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just for me to get glasses.
The first time I even noticed that I should get glasses was in class, where for the first time I was seated at the very back, and I'm like, shit, I can't read this on
Yeah.
the board.
Bro, you know, for me it was, I mean, I got those fake glasses, right?
Yeah.
But then I stopped wearing them because I'm like, this is a hassle. I don't want to wear this.
Yeah.
Then one day in 9th grade, I'm like, in summer vacations, I always got sleepy and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got sleepy all the time. And turns out that it was because I didn't have glasses on. Because like, you know, when you're not wearing glasses or like your vision is impaired, then everything is really blurry and it just makes you feel sleepy all the time. That's what happens to me. Like if I don't wear my glasses in the morning or like don't wear contacts,
Yeah.
I just feel like sleeping again because everything is so blurry. It just makes me sleep.
Yeah, that's great. I never even put them on unless I have to leave my house.
Really?
Yeah, like when I'm home, they're just sitting on my bed. Like I don't put them on because it feels so uncomfortable having them on. But once I'm out, it doesn't matter because there's a million other things making me uncomfortable. And right now, for some reason, I'm super aware of them because I guess we're talking about them.
Yeah.
Have you heard Good Looking by Suki Waterhouse?
Yeah.
Did you know there's a stripped version of that?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I made a new playlist and I listened to that and I'm like, it's just like, because I don't have premium, the smart shuffle is by default, so it just played the strip version. I'm like, oh shit, what is this? Loved it.
Yeah.
It's such a, I feel like some playlists I only listen to at night because they feel like that.
Oh, speaking of which, we both got the same result, right? Vampire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people. We also got the same location.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I didn't send that
Oh.
screenshot. Yeah, that's crazy. Everyone just started posting it on their stories. So did
Yeah.
I, but like,
I mean, I didn't.
you know, people are posers.
Yeah. See, the reason why I didn't is because in my artist, I think number 4 is Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And,
That's even worse.
you know, I went as far as to block her on Spotify because I didn't want her to come up in my Spotify rap. And she
Yeah.
still did. Because I didn't want to listen to her songs anymore.
Yeah.
So next year, hopefully, I'll get like a playlist a rap that's completely without her.
I mean, they're just numbers.
Yeah,
like
I
the
know,
the
but
only
like-
thing I really care about is listening, like the amount of
Minutes.
listened, because I was like, oh, 35k minutes, cool. Then I actually looked it up. That's 24 days.
Oh, mine is 13 days.
Why minus 13 days? Oh,
Mine is
oh, I thought you
13
said
days.
minus. I'm like, okay, yeah, but 24 days is crazy.
You know, I calculated mine. It's like 30 minutes per day.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's a lot. And like, I've seen people on their stories put up with like 100,000 minutes.
Yeah, bro, I feel like those people are crazy. They just put like music in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's not even listening. Like I'm pretty sure there's this group of people that just because they want to get a higher minutes listen, they just put music and they put it on mute, so
You know,
it plays.
Yeah, for me, I realized that it's very easy for me to get really into a song and then just play it all the time, and I
Yeah.
get bored of it,
Yeah.
and I don't want that to happen anymore. So whenever I play music, I really want to be into it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to just play it when I'm doing something else, because I have a different playlist for that, like just instrumentals and stuff, and like
Yeah.
classic music.
Yeah.
But like when I'm listening to a song I really like, I want to be fully into that song, right?
I feel I always used to feel guilty about not paying attention to the music I'm listening to, but I realized that sometimes that's the point.
Yeah.
Like the same song can also be a background song and also like me screaming along to it when I'm on my
Yeah,
scooty.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I used to feel like I'm disrespecting the artist, but like bro, you're already.
Who cares? They're like millionaires, right?
It's not even that. Like you're listening on Spotify, you're already disrespecting the artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spotify really fucked up on the fucking, and it's so like I never think about capitalism, but like this is what makes me hate capitalism, because you know what they did with their whole UI, right? I mean, you're a premium user, but you might know the memes.
No.
So-
Oh, they have like a section for premium, right? Are you
Yeah,
talking about
no,
that?
no. Like, so you can't choose songs to play anymore. You can, but there's a limited
What?
number.
What?
It's not even that. You only have 6 skips per hour, and you can't rewind back on music. So
Bro.
you can't restart the song, and
That's so disrespectful.
yeah. I swear. And when I chose a new song to play,
Wait,
like-
wait. It's still there.
yeah, I don't use premium, right? And it's not even that. It's also there's no like there's no like what's the word? Like you can't listen to your playlist in order. There's only shuffle, and it's not normal shuffle. It's smart shuffle. And smart shuffle is basically they just add suggested songs in the queue, so you can't even listen to an album front to back, and that's crazy. And the funny thing is, this is why I hate capitalism. People still use it because they're like, oh, I'd rather not pay for it, so I'd rather just
Yeah,
use
I
it.
mean, you use it, right?
I do, exactly. Exactly. And it's not even that I'm not, oh my god, that cat. Look back. Hold on. Shit, I wish I had my telephoto right now. Oh my god.
Such a pretty cat.
I wish.
Oh.
If only I had my other lens, bro.
Is this your sister's old camera?
Yeah. How do you know that?
What do you mean, how do you know that? You told me that long ago. You're like, oh, my sister has a camera that I don't, that she doesn't use, so I'll take it.
No, it's funny that you remember that. Because I don't remember saying that itself. I didn't even remember that I had this earlier this year. I got it repaired in July. April.
I guess I have better memory than you then.
No, you don't.
I do.
No,
I do.
that's not
I
true.
remember this. You didn't remember it, so.
That's one example. There's a million things you didn't remember a while ago anyways.
No, I remember everything. I just need like a cue, you know.
That's this is like, oh yeah, I know how to drive. I just have to learn it.
No, that's different.
No. I mean, yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah, you it's fair. Like you don't just remember everything off the top of your head.
Yeah.
It's just
You remember things that,
affected you.
I mean, this didn't affect me. I still remember it
No,
because
but
I have
like-
good memory.
See, that's where memory is ambiguous, because I remember some of the most random shit, but it meant nothing. I guess I remember it only because it was random. Like there was this one time we had Kinder Joy in FT, and Swarat was there, and Parth was there, and I don't know if Arnav was there. I think Rick was there, and the Kinder Joy toy was a hippopotamus. Like I remember that.
I don't remember. that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember that for no reason, and I remember the time I stole a small 14A battery, 24A battery from Venus.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were there.
Okay,
You
fine.
don't need to steal it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember the small one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still have it.
I was like, oh, it's so cute, you should steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
I
stole
did.
it.
Yeah. So like,
Do you remember the time when you were like, what? Water is water.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't even mean to say it like that. And when Arnav pointed it out, I'm like, oh shit, my English is broken.
No, it's not broken.
Do you want half of this? I don't know what the hell this is.
It's really good. I think you should try it. No, I wanted half of it.
Oh shit, not bad. Oh my god,
It's really good, right?
I should have dipped that in the coffee.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you, but I forgot.
I thought it was gonna be more crunchy, but it's really soft. I like that. Yeah, what were we saying? Oh yeah, about music. There's some songs I listen to only at night. I don't know, they just feel like night. And on the way here, so I ran out of skips on my main playlist, and I don't want to listen to the song, so I shifted a playlist, and you can just play any playlist, and it'll just start randomly.
Okay, you can just make playlists of like one song.
Yeah, but that's too far.
I mean,
Like,
it's not really that far.
I
You
would
can-
rather no. Here's the thing, on my laptop I didn't update
Wait,
Spotify.
is there a number of playlists that you can have?
No.
Then you can just put one song in a playlist and keep playing.
Yeah, but also, so what I do is, I'm not really listening to music outside as much as at home.
Yeah.
And at home, I just use it on my PC, and
Yeah.
I didn't update the Spotify app on my PC.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do have to bear with the ads, but at least I don't have limited number of skips. None of those features are there. So, yeah, it tells me to update it, but I'm just
I think if you play it on, oh no, I was gonna say if you play it on the web browser, you can put ad block on and you don't have to deal with ads,
That
but then you
doesn't-
will have to deal with the skips, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't work anymore.
Why?
I don't know if it works on. It doesn't work on Firefox. I shifted to Firefox. It works on Chrome, but Chrome
Yeah.
is
Horrible.
horrible
Yeah.
for memory at least, and I need that when I'm using Photoshop and shit. But yeah, on the way here, I just started a different playlist, and Moonlight on the River came out. Like started playing, and that's such a night song for me. And it was like 2 in the afternoon
Yeah,
when I
you
started
skip it,
playing.
right?
I didn't.
Oh, you
I
couldn't
let it
skip
play.
it.
No, I
Oh.
just felt like it, and I'm like, there's a weird relationship between afternoon and night. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But like a lot of the night songs work really well in the afternoon when it's sunny and you're kind of sweating. I don't know. I like that, and just I think it's more to do with not the sweat, but the breeze that you occasionally get.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of like how do you divide your music? Like for me, previously I used to try to divide it by color, right? But then I'm like, no, that's just really fucking pretentious of me. Like I can't divide it by color, right?
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So yesterday I'm like, fuck, I can divide my playlist according to season.
Ooh.
Because it's really obvious when a certain song is a winter song versus a summer song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or like a spring song.
Yeah.
And there are just certain songs that work so well in winter. And I have this playlist called December to January. And I feel like all of those songs are so wintry, and it just motivates me to make like a summer playlist of like all summer songs. And like I want to name it like Mango and Ice or something like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I would do that because I'm not very season oriented. I'm more mood oriented because I feel like summer and winter sometimes.
Yeah.
So I divide it by mood, and so I stick to my roots. I always said I would only have 2 playlists. I did for some time. So my main playlist is just called Me, and it's just every song I like from most albums I've listened to.
What was
Yeah.
that?
It's just piece of bark. Like yeah, I like this about this cafe. Natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just songs that I can dance to. Not even dance. It's just like it's just songs that I can headbang to. I think that's my headbang and foot tapping. That's how I dance a lot. That's how I jam. Hovering is not the same. It's from the same albums, but it's more like ethereal. It just feels like I'm hovering, and it's not because when I'm hovering, I can't really tap my feet and bang my head, right?
So you're just like-
I'm just there.
Yeah.
So that's that. And these are like I don't know, like I love a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
And bro, like my hovering playlist is longer than my Me playlist, which is crazy. This is 14 hours, and Me is 10 hours. But
Oh, you have a
anyways,
really long playlist.
yeah, those are the only long playlists.
Yeah.
Then I started dividing by activity and mood.
Yeah.
So the activities I have like okay, write your gut. That's when I'm drawing or when I'm writing. But I realized that when I'm drawing, I actually want to listen to lyrics. and not ambience. And when I'm writing or reading, that's when I want to listen to ambience. So Write Your Gut is just. By the way, there's this documentary called Baraka. You need to watch it. It's on YouTube. It's a couple hours long. It's no voiceover. It's just footage.
Oh, I know that. They made us watch it in foundation.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's beautiful. And this is just a screen grab from
Still
that.
from that,
Yeah. And yeah, this is just Aphex Twin, mostly Beach House, Cortex. Have a Nice Life. You have to listen to Have a Nice Life. It's beautiful. Yeah, just mostly instrumental. Only instrumental, yeah. Just some words. Waterworks. Oh yeah, this is like my third playlist for the first time. This is just like, yeah, sad songs, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like my most. I'm attached most to this playlist. Yeah, and I also started bleeding more into like slowcore and
Slowcore?
yeah. I don't know if that's a genre. What is it? Shoegaze. Damn, that cat is still there. I love. No, there's more than one cat.
Yeah, there's like a litter of kittens here.
That's crazy. So there's like 2 on the roof.
Yeah. You know, they come in this cafe sometimes, but then there's
Yeah.
people that hate the cats.
Oh,
So then they just make the employees kick the cats out.
I love that he's just sunbathing. It reminds me of the photo I took of Parth, where the sun is across his eyes. Yeah, but then I shifted to like more genre related. So this is like rock, but like it's mostly shoegaze. It's Radiohead and like Duster and Pink Floyd, whatever. Mostly yeah, My Bloody Valentine, The Smiths. Then what's the next one I made? This is the latest one. No, this is the latest one. Dream Car. I was like, oh, I don't have a playlist of songs I want to play when I get my dream car. And so I just made that. So it's just MF Doom. It's mostly shit from me, but it's also a lot of songs from old Need for Speed games I used to play. The soundtrack of that. My bad. Damn, it's been an hour. But yeah, I made. That's mostly it. And then it's like very niche. So like this is niche. This is just about a photo. I don't really listen to this.
Wait, is it gone forever?
No, it's here. It just stopped for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just made it. I made it because I'm working on something that is kind of like this.
Intermissions.
Yeah.
Are you making like, what is it? A song?
I don't know if I want to say this on record because yeah, no one's gonna listen to it anyways.
Okay, stop it. You can
No, it's fine.
No, someone might listen to it, you know.
I don't care. It's okay. Yeah, because okay, so I was hesitant to talk about the fact that I'm making this because I just put my feet in it. I wasn't too like deep in it, and I thought that me telling people would just give me that false sense of accomplishment that you get that you made something. So I didn't tell anyone. I'm working on a mixtape that I'm making myself, and it's not music, but it is, and it'll be out before this year hopefully, and you will have to be one of the first people to listen before it comes out for a technical reason because you're a part of it.
Oh.
As in your voice is in there.
Like this voice.
Yeah, like you are speaking in the mixtape.
Like this recording.
Not this recording.
Oh, okay.
Like some old recordings that I found.
Okay.
Like it's just that your voice is in there, and for like professional reasons, I just have to like
Okay.
clear the sample.
Okay,
You know.
don't do the Kanye thing on me.
No, it's damn. That would be crazy.
I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, I might even make you listen to one track after this, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm so.
Do you remember the first song you made?
First song? Oh shit! 2020
Do you remember the title?
April. No, I think it was
I remember.
Moonbeams and something.
Wrong.
What was it?
Moonbeams was the second word.
Oh shit! What was it?
Pass.
Yeah, pass.
It's called Polka Dots and Moonbeams.
Yes!
I have such good memory, bro.
I made that on Bandcamp, and it was horrible.
I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, at that point, like if you listen to it now, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" It was actually so.
It was inspired by some other song, right? Because recently I found a song that had the same title, which is why I
Joji.
remember it. No, it's not by Joji. It's by Audrey Hepburn or something.
No. I mean, it wasn't inspired by that. So, Joji.
How did you come up with the name for
I'll
that?
tell you.
Yeah.
Joji sampled
A song
a
called
song called
Polka Dots and
I don't probably. I think that was it.
Yeah.
I might have changed the name a little bit by Joe Pass, which
Joe-
was Joe Pass, and I just sampled that song by Joe Pass to make this song, and I just put a beat over it. That was that song. So I realized that it's so much more fun to make meme music for me.
Meme music.
Yeah, like funny music
Yeah.
instead of actual serious music.
Yeah. Because it's fine if it's shitty.
It's meant to be shitty. That's the thing, right? It's meant to
Yeah.
be like comically bad in a good way. Like there's still so much skill involved there. You have to like put the fart explosion sound effect at the right place for it to give a certain impact. So I didn't make any meme music right now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not even serious music.
Yeah.
It's not like a composition, but it's also not meme music.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and it's I don't know. You never probably hear something like this before. You might have.
That's really
I mean, I'm sure I haven't seen anybody make a project like that.
okay.
As a project, like you might have heard individual tracks come from somewhere else, like inspiration. Because I've used zero original music. I have used other music and integrated it with more other music.
That's good.
So it's not even like a remix. It's not a remix. It's weird.
It's like a collage.
It's a collage. That's why I call it a mixtape and not an album.
Yeah.
It's actually technically a compilation album, but it doesn't sound good. So I just call it a compilation mixtape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's too long. So it's just a mixtape.
Yeah.
Because there's also songs that I just put in as tracks that other people made because it fits in. So it's like, yeah, and I can't even like make money off of it because it's like 12,000 samples to clear.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put it out on YouTube or SoundCloud or SoundCloud. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna like try to what's the word? Execute it to the highest level that I can.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? For the cover, the cover would be really fun to make if you make it in the actual, like a
Yeah.
what is it called? A VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, a VHS tape format. Or
I-
like even a CD disc.
What?
It'll be really cool looking.
I have a
Have you
demo.
seen InDesign's new load up screen?
No.
Wait, I'll show it to you. Okay, till then you can.
I do have a demo cover which fits really well. It's okay, don't read it out, but like, that's it. It's just me.
What?
That's it. That's
Oh,
the cover.
right.
That's the demo cover. And what it is it's a photo Part took of me, but what I did is one sec. I took a photo of that photo. So I put the photo on my laptop and I took a photo of it so you can see like
The texture.
yeah, the texture
Yeah.
and my mouse is there. So it's very and you get these like lines of the display.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's very teenager. That's why I like it. It's very like innocent.
Yeah.
But like even this is a good one. This is Aishwarya, and it's a photo Part took. But like you can see these like RGB pixels
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I don't know. I might change it to that, but I'm still mixed on it. I might just make a completely original work.
Oh yeah. See.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Like this is just the loading screen. This is the official loading screen.
Wait, so in the loading screen, does it actually
No,
turn?
it doesn't
Oh,
move.
Yeah, that would be so crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
can you like send me that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good that's good inspiration.
Yeah.
I want it to be very like not very rough looking, not unfinished, but like it's very intuitive, like very intentional.
Yeah. You reached 5 minutes, 6 minutes early.
Yeah, I mean I reached before that. I just texted you
Oh, right.
when I came in. I thought you were gonna be here already, so
Yeah. The last time I was here, I saw Dad over here.
oh what?
Yeah. Did
Dad.
you know?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, it would make sense why he's here, but like, I didn't know that you saw him.
Me and Swarit were sitting there. Dad was over here,
Yeah.
and he was meeting up with some younger girl.
What?
Yeah, and then I'm like, is he cheating on?
No. I mean,
No, because see, I was thinking like, what reason could there be to meet at Zen Cafe at this time, you know? And then, I mean, I was just speculating, right?
yeah.
But then, Swarit came out over here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know for what reason. He just came out, and then
Want some?
yeah. No, he was leaving. That's
Hmm.
when his dad spotted him, and then he just came in for a handshake.
Oh, nice.
So,
How young was the girl?
like 26.
Oh, okay.
That's really young, right?
Yeah.
For him. Don't tell the
Yeah. Obviously.
the person.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, then Swarit, he was like all over the place because he was like you know, oh yeah, Swarit got really shaken up and he's like so his dad asked him, what are you doing here? And then Swarit was like, what are you doing here?
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then he got really shaken up, so he shook, and then he's like, eventually like revived and said, oh yeah, nice to see you, uncle. Yeah.
I mean, see, I know him,
Yeah.
but like I don't know him obviously.
Yeah,
So-
I know. It
so,
makes-
like-
just-
It's fine.
Ah.
It's fine.
Okay. Can you censor the word that you just said?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If I remember to,
Uh,
I will.
Yeah.
Because it's yeah. Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I love him though. I love him. He's great. He's so buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want to say a few things, but that'll be really incriminating.
It's okay. I mean, unless you don't think it's okay.
Yeah. I'll say it like off record, I guess.
Yeah, sure. If you remember.
Yeah, if I remember. But my memory is great, so I'll remember.
What do you think of poetry as a release?
I love it.
That's like you asking me what I think of cars. I'm like, oh, they're cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they are, but like,
Okay, wait. Let me just
That's me,
go
that's-
through my poetry right now.
okay, so that's me basically saying, tell me everything you love about poetry as a release, in the most detailed way possible because you like it.
Okay. So yeah, so if you can see
Damn.
the
Ah.
dates, okay?
Yeah.
So this is like 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. And then January, this is January. There's
Yeah.
a lot. February there's little.
Yeah.
Then March there's a lot.
Yeah.
April there's little.
Yeah.
And this is just a number. There's a lot for May,
Yeah.
medium for June, nothing for July,
Damn.
little for August, nothing for September. And this is like October and stuff because I'm like, okay, it's October, I need to write something.
Yeah.
So what?
Because it's your birthday.
See, it's just historically like me and Ronald, when we were in like class together, we were always excited for October. And that's when it stuck, right? We have to be excited for October. It's both of our birthdays, there's Halloween,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So October became our favorite month of the year. So every year we used to look forward to October.
Yeah.
And now Mrinal's not there in my life, and it's like I still have to keep up the tradition, you know, of being excited for October. But then this October was really bad. Like, I mean, I don't even remember things that happened this October, but I just remember that bad things happened this October. So it wasn't as momentous, but anyways, I wanted to make it special, right? So then I decided that this year's best month would be December. So just started today, and yesterday I'm like, this is going to be the best month of the year, you know, this
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
because it's the only month that can be the best month, because it's the
Last
only
month.
yeah, it's the only month left.
Yeah.
Wait, what was I saying? Poetry, right?
Yeah.
So somehow I feel like for me, poetry can only be a release when I'm feeling negative emotions, you know, like
Okay. Yeah.
in the sense that, you know, something like angst, guilt, sadness, anger,
Yeah.
disappointment,
Hmm.
jealousy,
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of effort for me to put my happiness as a release,
Yeah.
because when you put sadness into words,
Yeah.
it's easier for it to be poetry rather than
Yeah.
a journal,
Definitely. Yeah.
right? Because it's hard to explain it in words that are not a metaphor or
Yeah.
an analogy.
Yeah. True.
Whereas if it's happiness, it's really hard to explain it in an analogy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's easy to explain it in a journal way, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, this happened and I'm happy and I'm really happy. And when
Yeah.
you're happy, you don't feel like being inside your mind.
Yeah,
You feel
it's-
like dancing,
It's
right?
it's enjoyable to be happy.
Exactly. It's a very external emotion.
Yeah.
Whereas other negative
Yeah.
emotions, they're very internal emotions,
Yeah.
and you feel like you know, something happens to your heart and it like rings, right? And that's
Yeah.
when you have to get it out, or else, like, I noticed that there's certain negative emotions and there's like certain places you feel it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the throat, sometimes it's the chest, sometimes it's your stomach.
Yeah.
And I realized that when it's my stomach, it's really hard for me to write anything. I'm just like really
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in my throat, I think I feel sadness, and I feel like when it's in your throat, it's like the things that you really, really, really can't say, right?
Yeah.
You get choked up thinking of that. So yeah, when it's in my chest and my throat, that's when I can use poetry as a release. And honestly, recently I found that instead of me writing my own poems,
Yeah.
with the poems that other people write, I get a sense of release from their poems.
Yeah.
Because when I listen to them and I'm like, fuck, this is so true.
Yeah.
And then I feel it like in my heart, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And that euphoric sense you get when you're able to connect with someone else,
Mm.
even if that someone is like a famous musician,
Yeah.
it still feels really really
Cathartic.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cathartic.
yeah.
Yeah. And so like like go back to the last time you wrote a poem or any time you wrote a poem. Is it that, oh, I just feel something, let me put it down in whatever way? Or is it that, is it more of a process for you that, oh, let me write what I feel and let me try to make it good? You know, like a good poem.
If you remember, I used to write poetry in like minutes, right?
Yeah.
When I used to feel it, I used to
Yeah.
write it in 5 minutes, and I used to send you a screenshot, and I'm like, look, I wrote a poem.
Yeah.
Then the next 5 minutes, I wrote something, I sent you a screenshot, look, I wrote another poem.
Yeah, yeah.
Another 5 minutes, I took a screenshot, look, another poem, right?
Yeah.
I used to keep doing poems after poems.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because previously when I didn't discover design as a career, I thought poetry could genuinely be like a proper career of mine, right? Which is why I was really invested on it, and a lot of my mind was on poetry.
Yeah.
Used to sway around poetry.
Yeah.
So that's why it was easier for me to just come up with poems, because all of the time I was just thinking of like metaphors and analogies and like just thinking of words that rhyme and stuff, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Whereas now, I don't feel that it as a necessity, right? Because I'm like, okay, I have a career, I don't really need poetry to live, to survive.
Yeah.
So, wait, oh, yeah, your question. Well, it's a process, right? So, nowadays, when I feel like writing a poem, like it's very rare, right? It's very rare when I feel like writing a poem, but when I do, it's the same thing, it's instant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't care about it being good, I just care about it being an accurate representation of my feelings, right?
Nice. Yeah.
And then honestly, previously I used to like go and edit my poems, right, and to
Yeah.
make it like better and whatnot.
Yeah.
But nowadays I just feel like I just write a poem and leave it be, right? Because it's not supposed to be better, it's just supposed to be a
What it is,
representation
yeah.
of who I was.
Yeah.
And if it's cringe, then so be it, it's cringe,
Yeah.
right? It's just who I am, who I
Yeah.
was at the moment.
Yeah.
So I find it really rare for me to go back and edit. It's just so inauthentic to me, because I don't care about making like perfect poems. I just care about making perfect for me,
Yeah.
right? And unedited is perfect for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my process, but before that, just because you mentioned cringe, I want to read something out. So I didn't type this,
Yeah.
but I saw it on someone's story, and I just took a screenshot. I hope I have it, and I didn't delete it. Yeah. Quote. No offense, but I think people should be a little cringe. Being aesthetic is cool and all, but you gotta have just a sprinkle of cringe, or
Yeah.
else you're just pretentious.
Yeah.
Cringe is real. Cringe will make you real.
Yeah.
I love that so much because it's like you can tell so easily when someone's trying to show off,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with trying to show
Yeah.
off if you feel that way. But here's the thing: when you're on a, it's like, oh, imagine these lines, right? I am on a path where I want to show off every single day because that makes me feel good. That's amazing. If it makes you feel good, so be it. But eventually, you'll reach a point where there'll be a lot of dirt in the road, and what that means is you will want to show off a lot about things that you don't actually care about,
Yeah.
because now that dirt, it's not the things you feel, it's the predispositions
Yeah.
that other people have put on you. So it's exactly how trends work, right? Someone will start out wearing things they like, and then they'll be like, oh no, this is cool, let me wear this because people will like this. Because you don't show off for yourself, you show off for other people, right? Even if it makes you feel great, you show off for the validation that you get. So I think it's so important to just be like, oh no, I suck. And I write horrible shit sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel great about all the horrible poetry that I've written, because it's just what I felt in the moment, and
Yeah.
what I felt in the moment didn't allow me to be the most creative or the most
Yeah, exactly.
articulate person.
Yeah. And like even if it's cringe to you now, I mean you can't really make it. You're just making fun of yourself, right? Because that's
Yeah.
how you felt in the moment, and even
Exactly.
even though it's really dramatic, that's how you felt. You can't change that, right?
Yeah, I feel like I no longer get embarrassed because I mean I
Yeah.
do, but like the things that I would get embarrassed about, I'm proud of them now
Yeah.
because that makes me me.
You know what I realized?
Hmm.
Anything beyond a month, like any poem that I've written more than a month ago, makes me cringe like really deeply.
Damn.
Yeah, because I feel like there are certain poems that when you're in that state of mind, you can share to the world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And but the moment you're not in that state of mind, and then you show it to someone or someone reads it, I just get like, for me, I just get really, really, really like some sort of like shivers. I can't really explain
I get
what
it.
that feeling is, but
get
it's
it.
like it's just so personal to me. Like
Yeah.
I
I feel like to me that's like if I sometimes I don't want to scroll on Instagram when I'm trying to
Yeah.
sleep, so I just go through my notes app
Yeah.
and I go through some old poems or just shit that I've written.
Yeah.
I think I've read this. I
No,
don't know.
this is 6th November 2023.
Okay, I'll get to that. But
yeah.
I don't know, it's not cringe, but I read the title and I instantly know what I felt and what I wrote there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh no, let's just avoid this. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I wrote about that.
Yeah.
So it's not cringe, it's just like I don't feel like I want to delve that deep
Yeah.
into something I felt so strongly at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Because-
Some things you'd rather keep to yourself.
Because like some things I've written and they're so like intense and graphic sometimes,
Yeah.
and it's like me reading that will just like give me shivers in a bad way.
Yeah. And sometimes it sucks you back in.
And it's important though, like I know it's important for me to access that because there's a reason I feel bad about it, and it's not that I should just feel fine about it, but it's also that I shouldn't be feeling this bad about it. Like there's some sort of regulation that I have to do there, and it's always, I mean, there's a reason negative emotions are hard to regulate than happy emotions, because they need more effort and they are more profound than like, because happiness is, there's a difference between happiness and happy feelings, right? So I'm more, I don't chase happiness, I chase happy moments or happy feelings, because that's more long lasting. Because I mean I've people spend their entire lives figuring out that you can't chase happiness.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I know that I don't have to try to be happy all the time. I just have to try to be happy in this moment. Right.
Somehow that happiness part, I don't know if you, is the cat there?
No, just the plants that go in.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
So, I don't know if I told you this, but I was like, if I need to be in a place where even if all I had was the present moment,
Yeah.
even if all I had was the present moment continuing forever,
Yeah.
I would still be happy, because ultimately the past, the future, they're not real.
Yeah.
Only the present is real.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a certain time where I was chasing the present moment, where I wasn't present enough in the moment, and I felt like I was just losing out, that I was just missing out on these moments, because I was living in the past, or I was living in the future. When the future became the present,
Yeah.
I was living in the future again.
Yeah.
So it's like I was never in the present.
Yeah.
But somehow now I've come to a place where the present is the present, and I notice that, and somehow I feel like, I told you, right, if this moment goes on forever, I would be fine with it, because
Yeah.
I'm happy in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And I feel like happiness right now is not even something that I chase, it's just something that I have
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I think happiness is overrated. Like, because when someone says, "I want to be happy,"
I
what
feel
they
like
really
they're just making happiness an unattainable goal.
Exactly.
When happiness comes, like any moment, I don't believe a single person when they say that I'm so unhappy, I've never felt happy in
Yeah.
the past month. Like, bhai, you have felt happy, you just feel like that's not enough.
You're
Like, you
just
deserve to be
blindsided.
happier.
Yeah.
Right? There's no such thing as happier, there's just happy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it's like, see, it's exactly how a lot of habits and behaviors work. Where it's like,
Yeah.
if someone wants to quit smoking, the best thing they can do is say that, see, like there's gonna be two people. You offer someone a cigarette, and they'll be like, "Oh no, thanks. I don't feel like smoking right now. I'm trying to quit." And the other guy will be like, "Oh no, thanks. I'm not a smoker."
Yeah.
And the difference is that both of them used to smoke, but one has already accepted the fact that they're no longer a smoker. So, in the same way, it's not like you're not like, you can't label yourself to be a happy person or a sad person, but you can be like, I am happy now. If you always say that I'm so desperate to be happy, you'll never get it, because the desperation is what causes the lack of happiness, the lack of
Yeah.
fulfillment. So if you just say, oh, I'm a happy person, I'm happy right now, it's just not an abundant feeling right now,
Yeah.
then it makes so much, it's like a weight lifted off your shoulders, because you don't have to worry about trying to be something you aren't right now.
Yeah. Can I say something that's adjacent that really pisses me off?
Sure.
So yesterday I watched this YouTube video about like how to journal like a philosopher or something like that.
I know.
You watched it?
Is it this kind of chubby guy with glasses?
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
really
God.
pissed me off. Did
I
it
hate
piss you
him.
off?
I hate him.
Oh, I hate him too, you know. So he's like, there are 3 steps. First of all, write about something that happened in your day, something really important, that
Yeah.
something relevant.
Yeah.
Then write about something that you did that
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
Then third, write about something that you did that was really bad, so that you can know what to improve.
Yeah.
And it's just, bro, it
Yeah.
fucking pissed me
I
off.
get it. I literally have journal as a topic. I definitely want to get there because there's so many things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, let me just finish up with the poetry.
Yeah.
Like, see, with me, poetry is not a process. It is a process, but it's not like, so I'll feel something really profound, really meaningful, and really like it'll just well up, and I have to get it out.
Yeah.
So I do that, and after it's there, it's there. I
Yeah.
don't come back to it to fix it. I mean, yeah, I do, because it's more of like a creative choice.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But like, it's not like I don't want to write great poems. I want to write real poems. And I, at one point, I mean, I'm just using poems, the word for semantics, but like I stopped using the word poems because I realized a lot of what I was writing was
Prose.
not even prose. I don't even know what that means, but like just it's just like a paragraph.
Yeah, so that's that's
I guess a prose, yeah, sure. But I never wanted to like condense it to a label. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's like a journal entry, right? It's just what I've wrote, and it's in a specific language. It has a specific rhythm to it
Yeah,
that
so
I read in.
I feel recently I got this book. It's called The Penguin Book of the Prose Poem. So it's like poems written in the prose format. But what separates them from regular paragraphs
Yeah.
is that, you know, when you read it,
Yeah.
there's like, first of all, it has the quality of being poetic, you
Yeah.
know. And when something is poetic, maybe you can't define it, but you can feel it.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. That's what it is. Like the paragraphs I write are poetic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my whole life is poetic, but that's different. It's just that, like I have to be a little vulnerable for this, but like I wish we were. I don't know if I wish, but like we're not at a place where I can share a lot of what I have written, and it would be okay, at least from my side, right?
Yeah.
And it would just like, it's not a good idea. And it's weird because I share to the world a lot of what I feel, but nobody sees it, and I'm not mad about that. But it's
Yeah.
like it's that's why I'm so fascinated with photography, because I will take a photo and I'm uploading it, and I'm actually sharing 1,000 different emotions. You
But
just can't see any of them.
it's like encrypted.
It's exactly that's
Yeah.
such a good way to put it. There's this photo of Anushri where she's doing this. I don't know if you've seen it, but what that is so when Frank Ocean made Blonde, before he made Blonde, he saw this photo of a girl that was in the backseat of a SUV, and she was blonde and she's doing this, and it's there in his magazine called Boys Don't Cry, and the idea is that like that was the inspiration for Blonde, like he was imagining in himself in the girl's position, being blonde, being tightened by that seat belt, being a teenager, and that's all of that emotion there. Blonde is such a meaningful album to me, and we were at Parth's birthday at his place, and Anushri was just sitting there and I was taking photos, and I just saw it and I'm like, oh shit, can you do this for me? It would be in the world. And she did it, and I took that photo, and it's the most favorite photo I've taken so far. And it's like me taking that photo is me sharing
Your love for that album.
my love for that album and every damn emotion I've felt for
Listening to that
for the
album.
past 4 years,
Hmm.
ever since I started listening to that album, like ever since 2020. And it's like all of that condensed into one photo, and you can't see any of it, and that's beautiful. And that's how I share a lot of my work. But
Yeah.
it's like, anyways,
Like
I got
it's like only for yourself.
exactly.
And-
So I don't want to make a poem that rhymes, or like, I mean, yeah, sure, but that's more of a feeling thing. If I
Yeah.
feel like it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
A lot of my poems are just words that will make no sense to you
Yeah.
or anyone, and that's valuable to me,
Yeah.
because I can put that in a space where the only thing that page will mean is that it looks and it feels a certain way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, I don't know if you've gone through Boys Don't Cry, but that magazine is very rough in an amazing way. It's like there's 6 pages of just his browser history of Safari,
Oh.
no context, and it's like it's a specific feeling.
Yeah.
And it's not even a screenshot. There's an ant on your face. It's gone. It's gone.
gone?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate ants.
It's in your hair.
Is it? Still there?
It's gone.
I think it's just
It's
deeper
gone.
in
It's
my
gone.
head.
Yeah. Do you want me to just?
These ants don't bite, right?
No, they're black. That was not racist. But yeah, it's not even screenshots. It's he took a photo of the screen with his phone. So what I'm saying is, my poetry is very unfinished, but not like it's rough. It's just rough, and I love it that way.
Yeah. You know what I realized?
Yeah.
While talking to you, this topic of encryption came out, right? And I realized that when I was younger, I was fine with being an open book, you know, like sharing everything I felt,
Yeah.
specifically on Instagram. Like I was fine with it. I was posting like poetry of like vulnerable moments, and I was
Yeah.
fine with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to just be open and vulnerable, and at that point, I guess I really valued that form of connection, right? But then recently, as I've grown up, I really want to encrypt what I'm sharing, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that makes me want to be a closed book now, but I just don't want. It's like me hoarding treasure, you know. I
Yeah.
don't want to give it to you. Like
Exactly.
this is precious to me. I don't want to
Yeah.
give it to you just
Yeah.
for free, right?
Exactly.
Like, and
I get
more
that.
of what I share is just things I'm fine with sharing. And you know, recently my dad said something. It's like whatever you hide, even if it's trash, it becomes treasure if you hide it,
Yeah.
right? Not because of its inherent value, just because of the action of you hiding it,
Yeah.
and that makes so much sense,
Yeah.
right?
The moment something is limited, it's just more valuable.
Yeah, and the only thing I post is like encrypted things, right? Like, for example, photos
Yeah.
of like me with my friends or something, because it's
Yeah.
like it has again like a million emotions, but
Yeah.
you won't get it, only
Yeah.
I'll get it,
Yeah.
and it's just for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like everyone should have this sort of selfishness,
Yeah.
and I feel like everyone in their journey, specifically on social media, of what
Yeah.
they share, what they don't,
Yeah.
at some point they come to realize what they want to encrypt and what they don't want to encrypt.
Yeah.
So then you'll see some people who still to this day they share really vulnerable things on their story and whatnot,
Yeah.
and they share moments where they are looking silly, stupid or something,
Yeah.
and they don't mind it, but then a few years later you know that they won't do that anymore,
Yeah.
right?
My bad. The sunlight is hitting so well.
Yeah. Anyways, I love encryption. And it's like code that only you will get.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes there are things that only you and another person will get. So like you post it and it's like,
That is like.
yeah, it's like sending out a message in the world.
I feel like.
Like those spies in World War II where they had like a certain cipher,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like. Shit. Yeah. Like a lot of people who aren't exactly encrypted, who've been raised up in a way to express themselves.
Yeah.
At one point, they don't become an open book, just like you said, right?
Yeah.
I think those people just haven't figured out the evils of the world. Because for me, I realized that I have to stop sharing a lot of the things I do because people can use it against me, and they
Yeah.
have.
Really?
I mean, it's not that serious, but like they can, and in small ways they have, and they. It's more of an interpretation thing, but I'd rather not tell you everything about myself and let you figure out the rest,
Yeah.
just because I don't feel like it, and that just I don't know that gives me so much value as who I am, because it's like I am not free for you to consume. Like I feel like I've understood or realized my inherent value to a point where it's like I'm only gonna give you 10% of me, and that's enough for you. Like that's enough for me to be whoever I want to be with you.
Yeah.
And with other people it's like 17%, and with some people it's like 98%.
Wait, who is you?
I'm me. What do you mean?
No. 10%.
Oh, like anyone.
Okay, yeah.
Like not
I thought you're like, okay, to you I'm giving 10%.
No,
to
no,
someone
like-
else I'm giving 17%.
like anyone, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
stranger or like anyone new I'm meeting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it also depends on what kind of, like if I connect to them on a level I didn't expect to, then I'll give more of
Yeah.
that side of me, or that I feel like I'm a spectrum. Spectrum.
You know, I realized that there are with every person there's like a key.
Yeah.
Once you get the key to them, once you unlock them, it's like words just keep flowing, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the two of you are, it just keeps flowing and flowing and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it doesn't stop, why stop it, right?
Yeah. And it's like not just with you, but like some other people as well. I've realized that sometimes you have to close the door, lock it, and throw the key away, and just let that be there. And it's very like it's almost trite metaphorically, because it's like, oh, liberation, throwing away my key so I don't go back to my dark past. But what you have to realize is everything that's in that vault,
Yeah.
it is stagnant, right? So like whatever happened in my past will always be what it is. Nothing can change that. So, and
I mean,
like
it can change.
I mean, the past can't change.
But
is what
like-
I'm saying. Your interpretation of it can change.
If you revisit it enough times, you will distort it, and you will not realize when the memory of that thing has been distorted from the original thing.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's more
Okay,
of a,
what are you saying?
what I'm saying is, you're not usually aware of the distortion
Yeah.
because I will replay a lot of memories, and I know that they're not exactly what happened, but I can't think of
yeah, what
anything
exactly
else.
happened.
Yeah. So there's no point in me trying to find the right
Yeah.
version of that memory.
Hmm.
And I'm fascinated with alternate versions because it's like the me who is right now or in whatever moment has structured a new version, and that has its own separate meaning.
You know, one day I had this breakthrough
Hmm.
where I realized that my memory is corruptible. Where I realized that
Yeah,
fuck, I am not as capable of handling my memories as I thought I was, which is when I started like fanatically recording my moments, whether it's
Yeah.
in writing, in pictures,
yeah,
or in videos or anything, any format.
yeah,
Because sometimes, like, there was this moment where I thought I felt a certain way, but then I look back at my old journals and I'm like, fuck, no, it was completely different. I had a
Yeah.
wrong idea.
Yeah.
And it's really scary when you realize that your memories are not your own,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's because, like, the thing is, the foundation of your memories is your present. Like, if you didn't have a consciousness right now, your memories wouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
But it's also that's why documentation is so important because
Yeah.
to some extent it locks in that interpretation.
Yeah, so you have it.
Yeah, but it's also that there. So what I wrote, let's say on like 12 November 2021, random date, is what's gonna be there for like a long time, and that's the proper interpretation of whatever happened on that day. But there will always be a disconnect between me reading that and what it actually is. So even though
But
the
then, you
words
know,
are literal,
I feel like there's certain keys that you can leave in behind in your
Yeah, for
writing.
sure,
When
yeah.
you look at it, you're like, fuck, you remember exactly that
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
right?
exactly. It's just
That's
cues.
really
yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
cues. Yeah, and then you read more and you meet another clue, and it's just like it's like a unfinished puzzle, and you just put the pieces back
Yeah.
in. But the image is distorted now. It's so like memories are so ambiguous. It's
Especially
so,
because as humans, we're always trying to make like a comprehensible story for our present moment.
exactly, yeah.
So you try to change up the pieces to make it fit in with the present moment,
Yeah.
even though they won't exactly that. But
Yeah.
then, in the moment, it's fine for you to do that because it makes your present make more sense to you.
Yeah, like
It make you feel like you're in a better place than you actually are.
yeah, and that's like
That's worth it in the moment, but then
yeah,
maybe in the future you don't recall the past memories for what they were, and
Yeah.
that's when it feels like it wasn't worth it.
and that's just awareness because like there are a lot of people which don't know they're distorting their memories and they're fine with it just because they don't know it.
Yeah.
Right, but with us, as in like just the people who do, at a point you start to like question whether you should trust yourself. But I don't know, like to me it's never gotten that serious.
Yeah.
I'd be right up until there and I would just be like, oh, it's just a memory.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it happened, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how it happened.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change the fact that I'm still here.
You know, sometimes it freaks me out because I look at my parents
Yeah.
and they've lived what 50 years,
Yeah.
and when you live that long, it's not like you can just tell your kids everything that you've been through, right?
Definitely.
The main reason being that you forgot them. Because you've lived 50 years, it's not like every single moment to you is as important as it was back then, right? Like, you only remember the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. You don't remember the in-betweens.
Yeah.
And like, majority of your life is the in-betweens.
Definitely. Bro, like this is I'll share it later. It's on my I posted it as a reel. Like I wrote something about the in-betweens of life.
Oh. Did you use that word?
Yeah. I think the phrase was like the prompt for whatever I wrote was that this quote, and someone said like, I am a patchwork of my favorite songs and the people I don't talk to anymore. And what I wrote was about how much of you is really you. You know, like we talked about this a lot before, like years ago, where it's
Yeah.
like, am I really me when I am just an amalgamation of everyone who's been a huge part of my life? And in the end, the resolution that I gave was just that you're everything in between. So I'm everything in between whatever didn't happen with this person, like when I was alone, or like I'm all the moments in between where this person didn't even matter in that moment, and that's when I mattered.
Yeah.
So I like the in-betweens are more beautiful or more meaningful in a different context than the what's the opposite of in-betweens? The bigger portions.
Yeah, you know what I realized? When you don't know who you are, that's when you care about who you are the most. When you know who you are, you don't care about that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just are. You don't care about defining who you are because you just are.
Yeah.
But then when you see people who don't know who they are, they're so, even I was like that. They're so hell bent on like talking about who they are. That's
Yeah.
because they're just confused. They don't know who they are.
Exactly.
They're trying to be someone.
Yeah,
They are.
and it's so like you may never know whether they're sprouting and they're realizing who they are, which is why they're so confused about who they are, or when they're in the opposite, where it's like they knew who they were,
And
but
now they
something
don't know.
shook them up
Yeah.
and now they don't know.
Yeah, like I remember in the past we used to take a lot of personality tests and one. It was really fun, right?
Yeah, it was.
But then, and I used to like one particular conversation is like, are you an introvert or an extrovert,
Yeah.
right? And I really cared about me being an extrovert because I'm like, being an introvert is you're a loser, you're just a loser, so you need to be an extrovert, right?
Yeah.
But then now I realize, bro, I'm nothing, right?
Exactly.
I'm not an extrovert, I'm
Yeah.
not an introvert, I'm just like nothing, and let me be nothing. It's not
Yeah.
a bad thing to be nothing.
It's like I'm both and neither at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And one,
And I remember at one point you said you were an ambivert.
Yeah.
And I have a recording of you saying that.
really,
Yeah. It wasn't even that old, but yeah.
yeah, and then it's like you care about the box,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
then yeah, you care about the box when you don't know which box you fit in. That's when you care
Exactly.
about the box.
Yeah.
But then once you leave it, it doesn't matter to you anymore.
Yeah, and you may also see people caring about the box in an opposite way, where they're way too obsessed with
not
trying
being in the box.
not being in the
Yeah.
box. And I was there, like I'm there right now, or a couple months ago. I'm still like I would say I'm in the sprouting phase where I don't know exactly who I am, but I have a pretty good damn idea.
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't know who I am is because I haven't done enough to have proof for the things I say I can do. So if I say I can do anything, that's just delusional.
Yeah.
But if I have the proof for it, then it's okay for me to say it. And yeah, it's just I'm very glad on the fact that I'm aware of everything that I am and all the things I'm also not.
Also, I don't know if this is something we talked about or this is just something that I dreamt of.
Yeah.
But you should try getting rid of all the noise. Have you talked
Like
about
me?
this?
Or like in general.
You one in general.
Okay.
Like, try getting rid of all the noise in your life.
What is-
Be left alone with the bare foundations of your life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know what you mean, but like so when you say get rid of all the noise, what are you practically telling me to do?
So practically, noise, you define it person to person, but
Yeah.
it's just things that kind of betray you, or things that
Yeah.
you don't really like, or that half of your heart is in it,
Yeah.
right? Like for me, the noise was like people that
Yeah.
that I wasn't friends with.
Yeah.
Those people were the noise. Noise for me were people who tried to, who brought in extreme sides of me, and I hate that.
Yeah.
So, and noise was also the things I did, which I wasn't really into, but I still did them because I thought I liked them. But it's
Yeah.
just noise.
I get it.
And there's noise are also like certain thoughts that you have.
Definitely.
Like for example, thoughts like for me, those thoughts were like about me trying to be different or
Yeah.
trying to prove myself. That's
Yeah.
just noise,
Yeah.
right? I got rid of all of that noise,
Yeah.
and you are left alone with the parts of yourself that you actually like. You're left
Yeah.
left with the life that you actually like,
Yeah, definitely.
and from then on, you can bring back the noise
Yeah, I get it.
if you like it.
Like for me, like practically, like one of the first things I had to do was get rid of Instagram. And that was like, that's very pretty surface level, but it's also important that me just doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Like that was a horrible use of my time. And I
Yeah.
deleted it for a while, but I got it back. But I
Wait, I just
deleted
want
it
to
now
clarify.
again.
Did we talk about this before, the
No.
noise? So it's definitely a dream.
Yeah,
So
has to
damn.
be. Yeah. But yeah, like I feel like getting like when all of the noise is out,
Are you sure it's a dream?
I don't remember it. That's the thing. I don't remember you ever talking about this.
No, like the last time we met, we talked about this.
Oh, the last time we met? No, we didn't. In Starbucks.
Yeah, in Starbucks.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah.
No, we didn't talk about this.
That was day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, no, my bad. It was on Tuesday. That was 2
Day
days
before
before.
yesterday's yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel like when all the noise is out, it's very scary because now you're bare. And I mean
No, not really, because
I mean for me it is because it's like it's kind of like you have to be comfortable with being a lot of nothing and start to appreciate that. So for me, the most practical example when I deleted Instagram was that I have to deal with boredom now, and boredom is scary because now you have to face the actuality of your thoughts. But once I got good at that, I'm still not great at it, but like at least I can be there
Yeah.
doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
That's so powerful because it allows it, like some of my greatest ideas come from solitude, from just shutting up and thinking.
yeah.
And like this is what I talked about day before, that on that day when we met, where it's like, no, sometimes in discussions you have to just shut up and think,
Yeah.
and that's when the greatest ideas will come. Please don't tell me I'll stop the recording. Or keep on, baby. And there's no one else ahead to take your place. Oh my god, is there a line for the guys as well?
No, there's just one more. Okay, you're recording this. Okay.
Yeah.
So one time, me and Ira, we were just on this road, okay?
Yeah.
And we were on lane 7. You know where lane 7
Yeah, I
is,
do.
right? Yeah. So you're on lane 7, and I'm like, we can just walk to Starbucks. You know, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
And it was really far away. It was like I think 15 minutes of walking. But we
Yeah.
just walked, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Ira, it's on this road only. I'm sure of the road, but
Yeah.
it'll just take just 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was more than 5 minutes,
Yeah.
right? And we were just sitting near the bus stop, and Ira was smoking. Okay, we saw a girl smoking over there, and Ira wanted to smoke. So I'm like, okay, bro, you can smoke over here because the girl was just smoking right here.
Yeah.
Then a group of men walked past us, okay? And I mean, I thought nothing of it. But
Yeah.
then suddenly Ira grabs my hand,
Yeah.
and like she grabs it really tightly because one of the guys from that group, he came back, he took a U-turn, and then, I mean, he just walked back, and
Yeah.
he was just coming really close to us, really fucking close to us, and he's like, asking us in like Hindi, right? Like, how old are you? And stuff like that. And
Okay.
he's like because Ira was smoking, so like, how old are you, right? And then Ira's like, bhai, we're adults,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then he was just trying to come really close, come up to our personal space. So there's like the bus stand is the chair thing is here, right?
Yeah.
There's a railing and there's the main road behind, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, he was just coming really close to us. So I just pulled Ira and I'm like, bro, come here. Don't let him come close to you.
Yeah.
That's really scary. Oh
Yeah.
fuck, there's been 3 creepy experiences.
Yeah,
Okay, and then anyways, he keeps he keeps trying to talk to us, but I'm like, no, Ira, just leave him, just run. Okay, I just had that gut feeling, right?
Yeah.
And he was asking us whether like he was like, आप मुझसे एक दोस्ती कर सकते हो क्या?
What?
Yeah, that was really fucking and you know, see, the way I can tell crazy people apart is by their eyes. Like, you just know in their eyes that they're fucking not normal and you should run away from them.
Yeah.
But somehow Ira turned back and she was just trying to like talk to him. I don't know why. Must be like some other reaction, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Flight fright?
Fight, flight, and freeze.
Yeah. I don't know. It was one of that. And anyways, bro, I pulled Ira. Okay, suddenly she was like coming with me. Okay, and he kept following us.
Damn.
And we went near Starbucks, and he was still trying to talk to us. But then he saw the security, and that's when he ran. And we were just so like shaken up by it, and you just get that really like creepy feeling, right?
Yeah.
And before that, when I was in Japan, me and my mom, we were at a bus stop and we were waiting for the bus. Suddenly some dude comes up to us and he was just asking us something, and he was like trying to shake our hands, and my mom just looks at me and she's like, do you know him? And I'm like, why would I know him? I don't know anyone here. I only know you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why my mom also like she was trying to talk to him now, but then I
Yeah.
just pull her and I'm like, no, like
Yeah.
I don't know him. He's just
Yeah.
a stranger.
Yeah.
And that just really freaked me out. And I made sure that my mom didn't like touch his hand, right?
Yeah.
Because bro, there's some really psychotic people, you know, in Japan,
Yeah.
right? They just take a knife and they just run through a crowd.
Damn.
And I feel like if you can be that kind of crazy, then you can also have like poison on your hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It just fucking freaks me out.
Damn.
Then another time,
There are a lot of creeps in Japan.
yeah, and another time I was giving this Japanese exam, JLPT M4. The last time I went to Japan,
Okay.
or last time, I don't remember. I think it was last time, yeah.
Okay.
And I was in this examination hall, okay, and I was fucking unprepared, okay. It was like an MCQ type of question, right?
Yeah.
So I googled how do you pass MCQs, and they're like, okay, always pick B and C because those are more likely to be correct, and pick the longer option that's likely to be correct.
Okay.
So I was just paying attention like these kind of things because I wasn't really prepared, okay. So then to pass my terms in the exam hall, I always look here and there, right, and I just noticed a few things just to like keep my mind entertained, right. So I was noticing like how huge the hall was, like the amount of lights there were.
Yeah.
Then there was like a separation,
Yeah.
and they used to like drag
Yeah.
it close, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, I was counting the number of chairs and stuff. then while I was looking here and there, I just saw some dude looking in my direction. He was like smiling. I'm like, oh, what is he looking at? And I looked behind, there was a door. So he was smiling at me. There was nothing behind, and he was just smiling at me. Mind you, this is a grown ass dude, like fucking 26 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And he, after the exam ends, there were like 3 parts to this exam. So after the first part ends, he just comes up to me and he's like, he's asking me in Japanese, like, what country are you from?
I feel like I've heard this story before.
Really? There's no way you have.
Maybe it's just a different one. You told me a while ago that you met a guy who asked for your WhatsApp number and you gave him your India one. I don't know.
How did I tell you this though?
Is this the same story?
Yeah, it's the same story. I never told you this.
You did?
I never did.
Well, how do I know it?
Did it fall in my...
No.
Fuck, close call.
Maybe it wasn't the last time you went and it was much before that.
No, it was definitely the last time I went.
Because I mean, if my memory is true to me, I feel like I've heard this in 2022.
No, that was not in 2022. It was very fucking recent. Wait, let me just pull it up.
Or maybe it was an eerily similar experience and you just don't
It
remember.
was a Nepali dude.
Yeah.
It's the same. I didn't have 2 of the same experiences. Wait, let me just remember.
Or maybe you told me when we met earlier this year.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was probably it.
This is...
When did we meet? We met in July.
This is 2023.
Yeah, we met in July.
And January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, this was from July.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
that was, yeah.
Okay, then did you hear about the shaking hand story?
No.
So that was this time then.
Okay.
No, it was the same time. The only time I went to Japan this year
Well,
was
maybe
in
you didn't
July.
tell me the shaking hand story and you just told me the exam one.
Bro, it just freaks me out because I realized that, you know, like there are,
Great.
yeah.
I think it's maybe because I'm just a dude. I don't really encounter these kinds of stories, which is kind of sad, but it's also not.
I mean, it's good that you don't encounter them.
No, but I want to. That's the thing.
Why do you want to?
Because it's fun. Like you get to tell a story.
Yeah, but like when you're in, that's really insensitive, Rudra.
Sorry.
Because when you're in that moment, it's just really.
I mean, yeah, it is.
It's terrifying. Like
It is, yeah.
Ira, she was shaking, and for me, my response was like, after that happened, I forgot about it, and then Ira had to like tell me exactly what happened. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about journaling. Yeah, bro, I hate the video of how to, because here's the thing, I did like I posted a lot of stories about, like on Instagram stories about journaling, because I finished a journal. I'm like, oh, I have to.
Oh, you finished your journal? How many pages?
Just, I don't know, it's a A5 book, I guess 108 pages something. And I had to start a new one. I'm like, oh, let me just share what I feel about journaling. And what I said was, journaling is what I said was, it's a place where you can be your most unhinged, authentic self.
By the way, 1 second. What's the longest
That I can.
video in this series?
I mean, I've only done 2 so far,
Yeah.
and the longest one was with Parth, which is 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
How long is this one?
I don't know. Let's see. We already crossed 2 hours easily.
Okay.
So that's 2 hours. So it's gonna be another hour probably. I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna be a nightmare to edit.
You don't have to edit. You can just like
No,
upload it, piece it together.
actually, it's
and
not
put
gonna
it.
be a nightmare. It's just gonna take a long time.
What do you even do in the editing process?
Nothing.
Like,
I just align the audio. I mean, I have to do that here because we recorded multiple instances.
yeah, so it's just like
Yeah, and
for-
I just put in the poster and I just export it.
yeah, so that's like 3 seconds of editing, right?
Yeah, but it has to render the whole video again.
Oh yeah.
So it takes a lot. It's kind of dumb. I shouldn't really instead of DaVinci Resolve, I should just like use some music tools, because that's how people upload music on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's no video, they just
Yeah.
attach the image to the metadata of the audio. I just haven't found a way to do it yet. But anyways, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What I said about journaling was that it's a place where you can, it's a space that you create to allow yourself to be the your most unhinged, authentic self.
Yeah.
And it's important to do that, because if you don't, then you're overlooking and hiding a lot of the parts that are the most real to you.
Yeah.
And it's helped me so much to be almost chaotic and
Yeah.
just very, very, like, if a normal person read that, they'd be like, oh, you need to go to a mental hospital.
Yeah. Go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm glad I hope more people do that, because that's all journaling is.
Yeah.
It's not like I used to see these ads on my Instagram where they'd sell, like,
Which ad?
I don't know, you get ads on Instagram, and I got an ad for a journal which is basically like a pre-made journal.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I
And
know.
it's
I
like,
think I know that one.
and it's like depression journal, and the first page is like 5 things I love.
Yeah.
Like something like that. And it's good if it works for you,
I
but
mean, it's a good starter kit.
it's a good starter kit, but
It's not good for like when you're
you
doing a
have
journaling practice.
you have to be blank page.
Exactly.
I feel like you shouldn't even have lines, but like that's too extreme for me.
For me, yeah. For me, I like boxes.
Yeah. So I don't even like boxes. I just do lines and paragraphs. But you have to have the most freedom that you can, and
Yeah.
freedom is hard to manage. Like, people say they want to be liberated, but you don't know how it's like to be liberated. Once you're really free, you can be all over the place, and it's hard to be contained.
Yeah.
That's why so many people advise me against going for a gap year, because like you'll be doing nothing, and it'll be
Yeah.
really hard to regulate your daily life. And I'll be like, watch me.
I think when you say you want freedom, you have to define what sort of freedom you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's some sort of freedoms that are more essential than other freedoms.
Yeah.
Right. I think. Did we talk about this the last time?
No.
I swear we did. And then I think I said something like, freedom of choice is the most important for me. And then I asked you something.
We might have talked about it, but
Yeah.
probably not in the same words that you're saying right now.
Yeah. So yeah, gap year.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just an example, but like, I guess what I just want to say is, if it wasn't for you, I would have never. I don't know if I would have never, but it's because of you that I even knew what journaling was.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, you encouraged me to do it. Like
Yeah.
you almost did it for me
Yeah.
for a while.
I remember. I think at the start I really forced you into it.
You
like I
did.
bought you. Like I told you to buy this journal or something.
Yeah, you did, and I did it digitally a lot. If you remember on
Yeah,
Notion.
and I'm like, no, you should write it.
Yeah, I did it on Notion, and I did it on. We had a channel for it on Discord.
Yeah, we did.
In the main server. I don't.
Yeah.
It was probably in our server as well, but the. Damn, I'm just going around in circles. I just want to say I'm really grateful for that, because it's a gift, and I'm so glad that I got that. I didn't ask for it, but like, I'm glad I got it, and
I don't even know when did you reach that point where it was no longer like something that I was forcing you to do.
after we broke up.
Right.
I mean, because I think it wasn't very necessary. I felt
Yeah.
when you stopped, like you stopped forcing me
Long ago. Yeah.
long ago, but after that it was more just like I just did it when I felt like it.
Yeah.
But after we broke up, I was like, I was profusely journaling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this has to be a habit,
Yeah.
because it's so helpful. And now it's like, it's not a daily habit, but it's a situational habit. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
thing, but it's like,
Yeah, I mean, same goes for me. I feel like whenever I journal, I always have a lot of things on my mind.
Yeah.
That like any other way, like if I release it any other way, it's not enough for me, and
Yeah.
I would need to journal for me to
yeah, and
process
it's
everything.
exactly, and I can be like, so I can, it's so much freedom. I can write in first person, second person, third person, fourth person, and then I can just start writing lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I love writing.
And I can just draw like faces, like I can just use a different, it's so much freedom.
Yeah.
I feel like journaling and me writing my poetry is the most authentic form of the creative process that I yearn for. like in everything that I'm doing, which is a medium, like music is a medium, graphic design is a medium, photography is a medium. Compared to all of those, poetry and me writing is the most authentic, like the most innate, natural form of it. Because to me, the creative process is like it's also a tool for emotional regulation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you broaden it that much, it becomes a bit risky, because there are a lot of things that are horrible for you which are good at which are amazing at emotional regulation, like murder or like pornography and like just bad habits.
You could have said drugs.
I'm sorry, but like yeah, drugs and like alcohol and all
yeah.
of that. But I mean, at least for me personally, I'm fine with broadening it that much, because I've been on a lot of extremes where I have to know what to balance how much. So sometimes I don't feel bad about doing things that are bad for me, because I just
Yeah.
need it. But yeah, what does journaling mean to you?
I'll say what pissed me off first about that video.
Yeah.
So first of all, what pissed me off, the biggest thing that pissed me off is do what's say about something bad that okay, so first they say the positive and then the negative. They're like, you should know the negative things because that's how you can improve.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
hi, not everything in life is about improving. Stop
Yeah.
fucking improving and just be.
Yeah.
Be, right? If you have this constant notion of improving, you will think that you're improving even when you're not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because
And true improvement you can't force. I mean, if you really feel like you need to improve, you just do it, right?
Yeah.
You can just write about it. You don't need to be forced into doing that.
see, here's the thing, like, I don't know if I'm articulating it better. Maybe I'm just articulating it in a more personal way. What you said. When everything you do is about trying to be better for yourself,
You become a shell of a human being.
then nothing you're doing is actually better for yourself.
Yeah.
Because now everything is about a number. And it's
Exactly.
about how many push-ups you've done and how many kilometers you've gone on a run for and how many negative thoughts you can put down on paper.
Yeah.
And it's no longer about feeling. Like,
Exactly.
you can't logic your way out of
It's like
depression.
you're trying to make it into a game. You're trying to gamify it.
Yeah, and see, like, numbers have their place. It's
Yeah.
important to know your progress in the
Yeah.
form of numbers, but you can't make that everything about, like, you can't make everything about that.
Yeah.
You can't logic your way out of sadness and depression.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to let the grief run through you. Like, you have to be the grief.
I mean, that's what pisses me off. Like when you are way too much into this self-improvement thing and this growth mindset thing. I don't want to offend anyone, but when you're way too into that, I kind of lack some basic empathy for human beings that are going through something terrible, because you're like, fuck, no, you can't be doing that. Like, focus on improving yourself, focus on being better, because you can finesse your way out of these negative feelings.
Yeah.
And you can't just rationalize everything. You can't rationalize
Yeah.
anything, honestly.
Yeah. See, here's the thing about what you said about the growth mindset and why you even thought someone would get offended is because I'm not trying to group people, but if someone who believes in the what is it called, growth mindset,
Yeah.
isn't exactly ignoring the emotional aspects of life,
Yeah.
they're well past that. It's just that, like, if you take Parth is in a place in life where a lot of things he does isn't about emotions anymore. It's about getting better,
Yeah.
and that's why that applies so much to him.
Yeah.
But if he was in a different place in life, he'd just be like, oh no, fuck growth mindset, this is all about feeling.
No, but
So
I'm not talking specifically about him, right?
I know.
But what
I'm-
I've noticed is that when people go way too into this self-improvement kind of thing, they forget to consider people other than themselves.
yeah, definitely.
Which pisses me off, because see, when you think, there are lots of things that you can't define, and even the current definitions, they're not really solid definitions, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to think that you can define things, I don't know, man, it just makes you have superficial relationships with other people,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't like. So
I think
what I was saying about the video that pissed me off is that first of all, not everything you do needs to be about improvement,
Yeah.
right? I feel like improvement to most people comes naturally. If it doesn't come naturally to you, maybe you need to take those steps.
I think to most people it doesn't come naturally, but go on.
Yeah, so anyways, for me it comes naturally
Yeah.
because I have this voice in my mind that, like, kind of prompts me in the way I need to go
Yeah,
into. I
yeah.
feel like everyone has that voice. It's just like littler in some voices,
Yeah.
in some people.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And I mean, I hate that journaling is it's not supposed to be. I mean, people call journaling a tool, right? But it's not really a tool either, right? It's just you.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it is a tool, but it's more you than it's a tool. Like it's a
Yeah.
reflection of yourself than it is a
like,
tool.
see, I got my journal because I was expecting to like journal today,
Right.
but like, see, I've just like sketched and stuff in my journal.
Yeah.
And like put in like flight tickets and stuff. And this is what's personal to me, and like some of it is just like lyrics and poems that I've made,
Yeah.
like other random receipts and stuff. And I feel like journaling should be about like it's like a platform just for you, right?
Yeah.
And it should be about what's important to you in that moment, not
Definitely.
about anything else. I
Yeah.
feel like another reason why removing the noise is important is because you will realize what you want to talk about, what you want to think about,
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Oh yeah. It's exactly what you said. Like sometimes you get so lost in thinking you get so lost in the fact that you have to talk or think about the things that you think you want or think you need,
Yeah.
and you ignore the things that you actually think or you
Yeah.
actually want.
Yeah.
I actually feel like people are afraid to be hypocrites and narcissists and depressed, and it's like accept you are what you are before you can
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Like that, this is I don't like the term self improvement. I like that you want to improve yourself, but the reason I don't like the term is because it's a box now, and people
Yeah.
will say that, oh, they're on self improvement when they don't know what it means.
Exactly.
And it's not horrible to be on self improvement.
I
What they're really saying is, here's the thing, here's the basis of all self or most self improvement tools. It's delaying gratification.
Yeah.
Because and it's the basis of, it's the fundamental understanding of life that
Yeah.
something you have to
It's
delay.
about creating discipline, basically.
Yeah, you have to delay pleasure right now, so the future you can be in a better place.
Yeah.
And that is so important.
If
But you
you-
can do that without being a stoic and being so like
If you remember,
you're too young to be that disciplined, in my
yeah,
opinion.
If you remember back when I was in 11th grade,
Yeah.
I was very into self improvement. I feel like, I mean, I was the one who made that self improvement channel, right?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I had this calendar where I used to mark P or like half P
Yeah.
for the day I was like productive or half productive.
Oh my
And when
God.
there were like so many empty days, I used to feel fucking bad, and I used to.
Yeah.
I mean, see, at that moment, that really wore me down, and I feel like that added to my already existing depression at that point.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm so vehemently against self improvement is because, or the term self improvement is because I have been through that shit.
Yeah.
I've been through it completely,
Yeah.
and I know what it can do to a person.
Yeah.
Because that at that moment I became a shell of a human being,
Yeah.
where I only cared about being productive, as
Yeah.
in studying
Yeah.
for fucking 8 hours a day.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people, not a few people that I know will disagree with you on this or have a counter, and that is because you have felt so strongly and so
Yeah.
profoundly about a experience that you had about
Wait, one more
self.
thing. The reason why I feel like my experience can be felt by other people too, felt by most people too, is because it's that competitive spirit where
Yeah.
if you find out, like I was a kid, I didn't know what self-improvement was. I found it out, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm gonna be the best at this self-improvement thing, right? So I didn't know when, but those values became my values,
Yeah.
and they were not my own values, but they were somehow I took them
Yeah,
in me, and
yeah.
the moment I didn't reach up to those standards, I felt fucking horrible about myself,
Yeah,
right? And it's like I got these arbitrary numbers, and I felt like, if I could get this done, then I would be in a better place in life.
Yeah.
But that's just false, because first of all, there are so many people who are hardworking, who
Yeah.
are harder working than I am, and they
Yeah.
don't get what they want.
yeah,
That's because they ignore the aspect of luck. And
Yeah.
I feel like when you focus way too much upon self-improvement, when you make yourself into a god, then there's a point in life where you'll get humbled, and it might hit you really fucking hard, right?
Yeah.
When you realize that life is not as lucky, you're
Yeah.
not as lucky as you thought you were.
Yeah.
And that's when people realize the importance of being humble, being grateful, because everything that you are, it can be taken away by bad luck, or everything that you are can be given to you by
Yeah.
good luck.
And see, it's all based on beliefs, because someone will come up and say, oh no, everything is a choice.
Yeah, but like the thing is not, I mean, you can debate on that as much as you want to, but then
Yeah.
if you look at reality, it's not really a choice, because choice implies that the destination is guaranteed, or the gift at the end of it is guaranteed, when it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a choice. You can work hard, but getting the job that you want is not a choice, right?
I think the issue, or I mean, what I've noticed is it's not the actual self improvement or the actual tools you apply. It's the relationship you end up, it's the way you end up attaching yourself to those tools.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrible to measure your self worth as the things you do.
Yeah.
Like, you are so much more than your qualities.
Also, self-improvement is important. So there's this, it may be bitchy, but there was this video, and in the comments, it was like basically critiquing self-improvement.
Yeah.
And in the comments, there was this person who was like, I've never reached that point where I needed to self-improve to live.
Yeah.
Right, I've never reached that rock bottom where I needed to self-improve. So
Yeah.
most people, they're not at that rock bottom.
Yeah.
But people who are at that rock bottom, you'll see them being more geared towards self-improvement. Like when I was at rock bottom in 2020, that's when I was attaching myself to this, right?
Yeah.
And whereas most people, they don't need to do this because they're never at rock bottom.
Yeah. And see, everything ends up being, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is what I was saying, that a lot of people that I know that will disagree with you is because what you're saying is you had a very personal experience with self-improvement. And it affected you in a way that it's not going to for a lot of people. And so they'll be like, oh no, but that's not what self-improvement means to me.
I feel like I'm not...
I'm not saying a lot of people won't agree with you.
No. I'm saying that I'm not saying my experience will be what everybody who deals with self-improvement will experience.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's inevitable. You know what I mean? Like if you go as deep into self-improvement as I did, then the fall is inevitable.
Yeah.
When you realize that, okay, fuck, even though I marked a P in my calendar every single day, I didn't get what I wanted to get.
Yeah.
Right.
What I'm saying is, a lot of people will end up saying that, just in this context, is that that's never what self-improvement meant to me, and it was only really about doing this little thing. So what I'm really saying is, it's subjective, and your experience will always matter the most to you, and that's fair.
Yeah, but the only thing I'm critiquing is the culture of self-improvement where it's forced on people.
Yeah, see, that culture is more wide, because then a lot of people know what it is, and a lot of people are like irked by it. They're like, oh, this whole red pill community, and it's like
it's just making us into better, more good workers for rich people.
I think there's a reason. There's definitely a reason why even the word red pill, blue pill, and clear pill exists, or black pill, whatever. But like, these anchors are there for a reason. But you will end up realizing is that you never really want to if you become too opinionated, then you're just ignorant.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the funny thing. Like, if you're also not opinionated, people will call you also ignorant, because it's like, oh, why can't you attach yourself to a meaning?
I think people can understand when someone's thought enough about things, right?
Yeah.
And once you've thought enough about that, then it's easy to sympathize. When you see a person as a person rather than something that they rather than an opinion that they stand for, that's when you can see, wait, what am I even talking about? I'm just saying, like, yeah, all these labels exist and all, but then the moment you start seeing a person for who they are, when you see the journey that they've been through to identify with that label, that's when you can have a real connection with them.
Yeah.
You can't really have a connection with someone who claims to be, red pill, blue pill. You can't really consider them as part of your tribe unless you know their story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I agree with you. I mean, I
I've-
feel like being extremist in either way, either being like completely unopinionated or being too opinionated, both of them are bad. You should
Yeah.
just be in the center where you have an opinion and you are willing to you are willing for it to be changed if you find another compelling opinion.
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, when I say that, oh, I'm not too opinionated, but I'm also not unopinionated, I feel like
that's a great thing.
that's a great thing, but it's also a little bit immature. But that's just what I'm feeling right now. Like, 10 years from now, I'd be more or less opinionated, and I'd be like, oh, what I thought was right.
Yeah.
So what either extremists don't realize is that the opinionated person will not realize that the unopinionated person is
It's also kind of an opinion.
yeah, exactly, and the unopinionated person won't realize why the opinionated person is opinionated.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Joe Biden or like anyone from right or left wing isn't as opinionated as they show themselves
Exactly.
to be.
They're just doing that because
That's a social obligation because they have to keep up appearances.
Yeah.
And they have to like
we talked about this last time, right?
probably
Yeah.
And they have to identify themselves with the tribe.
Yeah, I feel like they don't even believe half the shit that they're saying.
Yeah.
Like religious folks.
Like it's my I don't care, but like the first thing I think of is like I used to watch these feminists getting owned compilations.
Feminists getting
Owned.
owned.
Yeah, so it's just compilations of people shutting down feminists for being too opinionated and too like
Yeah.
fixated because they'd have counter arguments.
Yeah.
And it's like like that time it was funny, but now it's the funniest thing. It's more funny because you're doing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're also being super like you're fighting the right wing by being left wing.
Yeah.
How that's just stupid. Like
Yeah. I mean, it's really easy to get sucked into extremes, and you have to because extremes is what gets attention, right?
Yeah.
If you have a medium, like a regular, like average opinion, or like not average, but like in the center,
Yeah.
then nobody really cares because that's like a really tame opinion, and everyone believes like that's true, right? No one cares to talk about it because
Yeah.
that's what it should be, or that's what it is.
the thing is, a lot of people want their opinions to be of social value, and they know like a lot of people's opinions are of social value when it shouldn't be. Like,
Yeah.
why does it matter what I think about something
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with you? It's my
Exactly.
life.
Yeah, I mean, that goes into social currency, right?
Yeah, exactly. Opinions
that
are
also
social
pisses me
currency.
off. Like, bhai, your opinion is not going to change the world. Just stop talking.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people will hold no opinion because they think that will give them more credibility
Yeah,
in a
that-
place where
that's
someone
also-
can appreciate
yeah.
that. But that's also
That's also bad.
yeah.
I mean, you should just do. I think what people can easily understand is when someone's being authentic and someone isn't. So when you get that hint of inauthenticity, that's when you start disliking that person.
Yeah, just I don't know. It's just very personal to me, but I feel like you should not you, but like people should just stop caring about not people, but a lot of people I know should just stop caring about social currencies.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. Like once you get out of that bubble, you
you
realize it's horrible.
You can be so much of you, and I'm not saying that's gonna be a great thing for you, but and I mean again that's subjective. Like you can be so much more of yourself if you just stop caring how many likes you got, or
Yeah.
if someone cared about what you thought about feminists or whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
Get rid of the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heated topic.
Last night it was 12 a.m. and I wanted to journal, and I put the date and time at the top right whenever I do that, and I check my phone and I'm like, oh shit, it's the 1st of December.
Yeah.
The year is practically ended.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it just made me look back on the entire year.
You know
And-
what I did when the clock struck 12?
Yeah.
Guess. All I want for Christmas is you. That's what I played. at exactly 12.
There is a track
Hmm.
in my playlist that's called All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Ooh. Wait, in your mixtape?
Yeah. I got really obsessed, not obsessed, but like I heard Last Christmas by Wham,
Yeah.
and I just made a playlist based. Yeah, that's like 1.5 hours already.
Good now.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 1.5
Last
hours.
Christmas. No, you
Wait,
said
no, 2.5 hours. My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
I just want a high score. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
Bro, like
I'm just competitive like that.
honestly speaking, people are gonna be like, oh, this is the longest episode. It's probably the most boring.
Nah. No one's gonna watch it anyways.
Exactly.
If it's more than like 30 minutes, people are gonna like
Bro, people are
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
People don't want to listen to 10-minute songs.
Yeah.
Forget about videos. Yeah.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the
I just look back on my entire
I
year,
gave it away.
and I'm
You
like,
gave it away.
2023 is gonna be over in less than a month. In a month, and that's crazy. I couldn't fathom it. Like
Yeah.
I say this at the end of every year. It's like a tradition.
Yeah.
I can't believe the year is ending so soon.
Yeah.
And I just think about everything that I've gone through this entire year, and I don't believe any of it. Like
Yeah.
at one point, I wanted to be a YouTuber, and that's so lame.
I
But
mean, you
like,
still do, right? In some way.
no, but I am.
Oh, yeah, you are.
That's the thing, right? I can't believe it, and I'm part of a magazine,
Yeah.
and I'm.
Oh, wow, Christmas.
Nice. I love those bulbs.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a. I don't know if I consider myself a musician, but I make music.
You're a musician, you're an artist, you're a YouTuber, you're a
I'm a
photographer,
writer.
you're a writer, you're a
I'm an author.
you're an author, you're a journaler,
I'm a photographer.
you're a student.
I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm me, and that's so crazy. One of my favorite phrases is that I'm all things and nothing at the same time.
Very, very, very dramatic, but true.
What do you expect? I'm Rudra. Everything about me is dramatic, and that's me. I love that.
I mean, same. I'm really dramatic too. Like
Yeah, just in a different way.
No, we're dramatic in the same way. Like,
I mean,
the day we broke up,
yeah.
I was like crying on the staircase, and I posted a story called "The Summer of My Life Is Over."
Damn.
That's so dramatic. I look back, I just laugh. Like, bro, how dramatic can you be? And I posted this on my close friend's story, and then a few months later, realized like, bro, remember when you posted that story? I'm like, why the fuck would she post that? That's so weird. I'm like, bhai, there's only 9 people in my close friend's story. Like, that's fine. And I realized I stopped posting stories whatsoever
I
because
think we're both dramatic. We just express it differently.
I don't think so. I mean, I think we express it similarly.
When was the last time you shut your door on your best friend and said, I hate you? Oh, wait, you probably did that.
I think like yesterday.
Yeah. What do you.
I feel like when we distance ourselves from each other, we're like, or any people, when they distance themselves from each other, they're like, no, I'm not like you. We're different people, you and I, right? But then you end up realizing that you have more in common. Like I feel like if anything brings up really extreme emotions in you, then something strikes a chord with you, right? And you're really similar. Like for example, me and
Yeah.
don't give any hints, okay?
Yeah.
So the reason why I got pissed off is because I could see those traits in me too. That pissed me off. Like why do I have those traits,
Yeah.
right? And then I realized, okay, we're more similar than I would like for us to be similar, right?
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, I think everything is great.
No, it's so crazy that I think it's great because I know Parth is great.
You have to censor this one
Oh
too,
fuck,
okay?
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll remember to do that.
Yeah. In new recording aid, 4 minutes 9 seconds.
I'll just label it censor.
No, you have to censor 2 things now, okay?
Yeah.
It's
I
okay,
don't-
it's okay. I'll tell you later if I remember.
No, I hope. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, yeah. So yeah, 2023 is ending. How was this year for you?
No, I'll go through my pictures, that'll be better.
Cool.
See, the thing about me is my memory is horrible. and I mean it's great in some ways, but it's also horrible in some ways.
Yeah, that's like literally everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like what I wrote last night in my journal was this year was a blur, but it also wasn't.
Yeah.
So much of it was a blur, but I also remember so like a lot of moments so clearly that I could just reenact them right now.
Wait, how do you go to a year view?
Go to, okay, see, it's right here.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow, got it. See, got 2023. So, fuck that. I took many pictures this year. You know why? Previously, I used to delete so many pictures, right? Because I'm like, I need that space. But now, I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that because nothing is worth more than the pictures you take. Like, it's fine if you're storage, like if you have to pay like 200 rupees to iCloud every month, that's
Yeah.
fine because as long as you have those pictures, you know,
Yeah, for
because you
me,
will never get them back.
for me, it's like some photos that I'm so glad I deleted
Yeah.
that I can't access them anymore,
Hmm.
and others I don't even like I don't even look at them when I have to clear storage. I'm just like I know I have to delete like voice recordings or like
Yeah.
apps or something. Photos is the last thing I go to.
Fuck, I've been through a lot this year.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did this year was go to a shrine in Japan.
You don't have to go through every month.
Yeah. No, I'm just going through it, right? Don't even remember the year
Yeah.
because, like, for me, 2023 feels like the present, right? So it's like, what's there to think about? It's just the present moment.
Yeah.
But now it's gone. It's the past, and there's a lot that happened. Fuck.
Well, it started to be gone the moment it started.
No, for me it goes at
I
December.
mean, you feel differently, but like realistically, it left you as soon as it came to you.
Pictures are amazing, right?
Damn, what did I just say? No, that's so smart.
Yeah.
Damn, I have to write that.
It left you as soon as it came to you. I love this year.
Nice.
I mean, there's a lot that happened, but one thing I'm really proud of is I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the way I handled everything.
Yeah, I think I discovered parts of myself I didn't know, but that has happened kind of every year since 2020. It just happened in a more clear way. So I think 2020 to 2022 was like, even apart from our relationship, was very like ambiguous, because I was learning things I did things I never did. I learned things about myself I never knew. I noticed the things I hated that I never knew just because I got to do them.
Yeah.
But this year it was more refining that, because I wasn't tied to anyone or
Yeah.
anything. I was like,
You
oh,
could be
I can
whoever
just,
you wanted to be.
like at the start of the year it was so crazy, not at the start, kind of in the middle, it was so crazy that I just had this thought that I could just scream so loudly anywhere
Yeah.
and people would forget within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that power was overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but like
I mean,
I just felt so free by doing
the
whatever I wanted.
realization that you're truly free.
The day we met in the mall,
When? Tuesday.
Tuesday, after we left, you know the NGO people in Seasons?
Yeah.
One of them stopped me right after
Yeah.
I looked back and I said bye, and she was telling me about this shelter and how, you know, they take care of kids who used to be like sex workers and
What
not
did
just kids.
What did
but
you
like,
say?
I'll tell you. So she was explaining to me, and I listened to the whole thing. I didn't interrupt her. And I'm like, the first thing I said was, listen, I'm so happy that you're passionate about this. That's great. But I actually don't have any money to give you.
Yeah.
And I'm not at the age to even worry about this. I
Yeah.
literally said that. And she's like, oh no, but it's not about age. Like, there are 7th graders who've donated like 100 rupees. And I'm like, that's nice. But I literally said this. I actually don't care. I said I don't care.
Good job, good job, good
And I
job.
didn't feel bad about it. And I'm like, at the end, and she was like, she's like, this, like, oh, okay. And I'm like, she was a girl, so if it was a dude, I would, sorry. If it was a dude, I would like pat his back and be like, no, you're good. But she was a girl, so I didn't do that. If she was a guy, I would have done it. But I was like,
I mean, good on you.
yeah, at the end, I didn't want her to feel bad, so I was like, I'm still glad that you're passionate about this and that you walked up to me and you said that. But I can't do this.
You know,
And I just walked away, and that felt so good.
I feel like some part of me is always a skeptic where it's like, why are you at this mall? Why are you here? Why are you spending your time here? Obviously, you're not doing this just like that. You're getting some money from it.
Yeah.
So, if you're getting money from this, then it isn't really non-profit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what pisses me off because you can see through inauthenticity easily.
Yeah.
Like for
Like, see-
example, there was this beggar yesterday
Yeah.
who was at Future Hours
Yeah.
wearing a fucking perfectly ironed blue shirt, perfectly tailored grey pants,
Yeah.
coming up to us, me and Swarit, and then he's like, भैया पैसे दे दो भैया नहीं है कुछ नहीं है. I'm like, see, normally I ignore these kinds of people, but like it's easy to see through this scam. Like, bhai, why do you have perfect clothes if you're a beggar?
Exactly.
Right? And then he just comes up in our personal space.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if you want to beg, you can beg, but like don't come up fucking this close,
Yeah.
right?
And I could have like, see, with her, I knew she was getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And I could have easily like gotten annoyed about that and be
Yeah.
like, oh, you're just doing this for yourself. You probably don't care about those kids. But I was just like, oh no, I'm glad you're passionate to live.
Hmm.
I didn't say that, but like that's what I thought. Like I'm glad that you're doing whatever you can to make the money you want to. I'm just not gonna participate in it, and I don't
Yeah.
even encourage it. So like, I mean, it wouldn't matter if the little girls from there came and it's like, "Bhaiya, paise de do." I'm like, you don't need this.
I feel like I'll still be skeptic because it's like whenever you see kids begging, it's never for themselves.
Yeah.
It's always someone who's controlling them. That's what pisses me
Exactly.
off because, bro, you know these beggars who come up with kids with them in their hands. If you see the real homeless people who are like really struggling, they leave their kids with another adult
Exactly.
on the road because they don't want their kids to be involved in this because the kids didn't choose for this life.
Yeah.
And it makes me cry. Like, bro, why you're literally exploiting your kid? If you were
Yeah.
alone, nobody would give you money.
Yeah,
But because they
exactly.
see this kid who's been trained to like pull at your shirt, and they're, "Bhaiya, paise do, didi,
I know,
paise de do."
right?
It just really pisses me off. Like, you're not, clearly not doing this for yourself. Like, you remember the video that was viral of a girl just showing this UPI scanner, like, "Bhaiya, idhar paise de do." Like, clearly you're not old enough to have a bank account, and you can easily find out who's
But
doing
yeah,
this.
yeah. It reminds me of. I do not remember the name of the movie. It was a very revolutionary Bollywood movie, but it was about basically this.
They didn't have Alia Bhatt in it.
No.
Okay.
It was this this fraud organization that controlled this ring of beggars,
Yeah.
and they made them beg for them, and they counted all the money, and they would treat them really badly. I forgot the name. I think Amitabh Bachchan was in it.
You know, I think I got this from my mom because my mom is like, all beggars are scammers.
Hmm.
Because if they really wanted money, then they can work for it because
Ma'am,
there's multiple
yeah.
ways to work for it.
My mom has always said, never give any beggar money.
yeah.
Give them food if you can, if you want.
Yeah, but then you know, now I've even stopped believing in that because I've seen people who, like, if you give them like rice and like sugar and whatnot, okay, they take that and
They
then they
just-
give it back to the
Exactly,
store.
yeah.
And same for vada pav. You give them a vada pav or something and then they give it back to the bhaiya and he's like, give me 20 rupees. And most
Yeah.
of the times they don't allow that, but
Yeah.
sometimes they
yeah.
do.
But like, yeah, that's why, like, me and Abhik, I don't remember when this was, but we saw this guy in Saranki Vihar, and he was like, ration de do. And I'm like, okay, we bought him a 1 liter packet of oil, and we told the shopkeeper, do not give him the money
But
if he
like-
asks for it.
I feel like he can still go back now if they have some ties with the shopkeeper. Because
I'm
if you're
pretty sure
if you're giving them something now. Wait, can you just no, I guess it wouldn't work if you go to a different store and get it for them because
No,
they
that's
can
not.
still return it to any store, right? They can
Yeah.
still be paid for it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you truly want to help someone then I mean it's really hard.
Yeah, like I mean the most I would even do is literally buy you food. Like I would be like, come with me, I'll pay for this food and you can take it and have it.
Yeah.
But even
and,
that, like,
and I feel like I would want that person to eat it in front of my eyes, you know? That's
Nah.
like asking too much.
I mean that's too much. Yeah. For me
Yeah.
at least.
So you know that saying, right, where you're like, don't teach a man how to fish. Don't give a man fish. Teach him how to fish.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you can't really do that in practice. because it takes way too much effort and it's not really good, right? Imposing your own beliefs onto other people. Like if you want to beg, I'm nobody to stop you from begging.
Yeah, but 90% of the time, it's better for them to not beg.
Yeah, 100, okay, yeah, 90% of the time.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how?
Bro, do you know the stories of like my mom told me stories of like the beggars, their hands being cut off, and that's why they're begging, like
Oh my
to get
God.
sympathy from other people.
Wow, that's crazy.
But those there were really real cases like that.
Anyways, that's, I don't even know.
Okay, wait, what were we talking about? Like
Yeah,
reflecting on the year, right?
Yeah, I don't know how we went there.
Yeah. Skeptic. I feel like whenever we talk, we always go off the road.
We're just probably just autistic.
I'm not autistic. Maybe you are. You're not autistic either.
I mean, as a joke, I say that, but I actually don't know what it really means to be autistic.
Autism is when
Yeah.
is autistic.
Wait.
Wait, you didn't get the name, kya?
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, you got it, right?
Is he though?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. So I researched autism a bit, and like I only researched it after I met him because I had a strong suspicion that he is autistic. Because he is. I tell you what, autism is basically when you lack the social skills to understand the invisible. Like for example, we're together and they don't understand like social norms, like what's good and what you shouldn't do.
It's like that Joji lyric. I don't get social cues.
Yeah, they don't get social cues, and that's they don't feel they don't understand when they don't get social cues, and that's why they don't feel bad when they don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I noticed with him, there's so many times where like for example, Ira is pissed at him and he doesn't know why, and I feel like I genuinely believe that he's autistic, and that's why I tell him exactly what happened. I do a play-by-play of what happened and what made Ira pissed, and he understands. He's like, oh, okay, I got it. And before that, I didn't realize that he was autistic, right? Or I didn't know this about him.
Yeah.
I figured it out, and that's when I got less annoyed by him, because I'm like, okay, bro, genuinely doesn't know social cues.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like I didn't know social cues for a long time.
Bro, you know social cues.
No, in the past tense. But then I realized I was just being ignorant. I just wasn't being empathetic enough.
Yeah. There's not doing something on purpose, and there's the inability to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very thin line because sometimes you don't realize if it's an impulse or if it's just how you are.
Yeah.
Man, what time is it?
Also, I feel like recently there's so many people who use like their mental health issues, whether diagnosed or undiagnosed, as like a crutch to behave
Yeah.
or excuse bad behavior.
Yeah, that's.
Like, oh, I just have ADHD.
Oh, I'm just bipolar.
Yeah, or oh, I'm just depressed. I'm sorry, stuff like that. Like, bad behavior is
It's
bad
not
behavior,
even-
whether you're
And it's not
diagnosed
even
or not.
it's not even limited to being like bitchy or assholeish or bad behavior. It's also like when people just limit themselves to, oh no, I'm just an extrovert, I'm just an introvert, so I won't be able to talk to this person I like.
Yeah.
It's like just go up and talk to them.
Yeah.
And I met so many new people this year.
Hmm.
I felt like I genuinely made connections with more new people this year than I made
In your entire life.
in 2020 to 2022 collectively. I say that because I just view 2020 to 2022 as a phase of my life, or like it's a block,
Hmm.
and then a new phase of my life started, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what things I'm ignoring by putting it like that. I might see when I live more, eventually it won't be a block and it'll just be a moment in time.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll realize
But-
it later.
But right now it's like,
Is that a turtle?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. If I touch it too much, I'll become a turtle. I used to wear a diamond earring,
Yeah, I know.
but then I stopped that because I'm like, somehow this gives me a lot of comfort.
Turtles are a sign of prosperity or luck.
Really,
Yeah.
that's good. My cousin has a turtle, and he asked my mom to give him a tank because for the turtle. So the turtle's still alive in that tank.
Yeah.
And they used
Yeah.
to have cats too, and
Yeah.
the cats used to trouble the turtle.
I that reminded me. I did phase out of my whole aquascaping phase.
Oh,
It got too expensive, and
do you still have fish at home? You,
I got rid of
Did they
everything.
die?
No,
or
I
did
mean
you
yeah,
give them away?
I killed them.
Why would you kill
Not on
them?
purpose. Not on purpose. Like I just didn't take care of them, and they died.
That's still killing.
Yeah, I don't really talk about that because that's actually one of my lowest
Points.
points in life.
Yeah, it's
But
okay.
there is no way that I can articulate it well enough for anyone to even come close to understanding it.
Yeah.
Not
by the
like
way,
not even someone who understands
Yeah.
the hobby.
do
Yeah.
you remember there was the fish shop that we went to, and there's like this fish in the
Yeah, I do.
door.
I do, I
What's
do.
the name? What's the name of the species? They're like really funny looking, and they're like really smart and all that.
It's called a flower horn.
A flower horn.
A flower horn. Like a flower horn.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about the big fish with the big face and like big lips and everything. And they
And
may
the big bulge on their forehead.
Yeah.
It's flower horn. Yeah.
Hmm.
I have. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's flower horn.
How long do they live?
Genuinely speaking, I don't know, but my best guess, based on what I know, is around a decade, maybe less. But like at the decade point, they would get like handicapped old. Like they won't be able to swim. That old.
By the way, I think I killed some fish.
How?
My grandfather, he has this fish tank. Okay, so one day, him and my brother, when I was not in Japan, they went out to some river or something, and they just caught some fish and they put it in that tank.
I remember this. Yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah.
I don't think I told you this.
How do I know it?
Maybe there are.
You may have briefly mentioned it.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, I was at his place. I stayed there for like 3 days. Okay, and wait, I think I told you this, but I was like putting my hands on there and like making the fish follow me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I didn't realize it then, but I was stressing the fish out. So
Yeah.
when I did that the next day, the fish, they were just like dead, flopped up on the on the tank.
Do you want me to be real with you, or just let you believe what you believe in?
Okay, be real with me.
Okay.
I think the fish tank lacked nutrients.
Mm,
Because-
probably.
yeah, because that's what.
I don't know that, but here's what I'm sure happened. They didn't die because of your finger, because that's I've seen a photo of that you sent me, and those fish are too small to even understand what that is.
But they got stressed out.
Yeah, they got stressed out because they were taken from a wild and natural environment to an enclosed glass case,
Yeah.
which probably wasn't. There's a thing called cycling, which means that the water is aged enough where the fact that it can sustain the waste that is created in it. And when it can't, when it's basically sterile water, that waste gets built up, and there's no bacteria to process that waste.
Yeah. Wait, I remember you telling me that some like
It's
nitric or whatever.
nitrogen cycle.
Yeah.
So the waste just gets built up and the fish gets suffocated. So it's either that, or they just died from the stress of changing the environment so quickly, which is also possible, or maybe the water just wasn't dechlorinated, so there was
Yeah.
still chlorine in the water. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went there, there were like 12 fish. When I left there were 3.
Yeah, I feel like I've told you this. I have purposely killed a fish.
What?
Yeah.
Did you flush it down the toilet?
No.
Okay.
So so this one guy, this was in 2021. He was really sick, and so the thing is,
You
the
made
fish.
soup.
No, the fish. You usually keep them in schools,
Yeah.
and singular they do very very bad because they get stressed
Yeah.
out. And the same tank I was in, there were like 3 other fish, and they weren't sick. They didn't have the infection that he did, and I didn't have a different tank to put this guy in to treat him. and I couldn't eat the whole tank because it would disturb the other fish.
Yeah.
And he was so weak that instead of trying to, I didn't have the heart to get a different tank and save him in there. I just took him out, I buried him in a pot and just covered him up.
Fuck.
And he was basically half dead.
You should have just killed him on the spot. I think you tortured him by prolonging the pain. Do they feel pain? They do, right?
I don't know.
Don't Google it. It's better if you think
No,
that
it doesn't bother me.
Really?
It doesn't.
What about like Hamsa and all that?
It doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't. Like,
Did you ever see them as living beings? Or did you just see them as like a hobby?
no, like I was definitely attached to them. I kept them as pets.
Like if you did the same thing to Momo, you would feel bad about it. Right?
Bro, that's different. That's a whole different like he speaks to me, bro. That's different. But see, at that point I had already faced what it was like to lose a fish. I had lost fish before that. So it wasn't
As impactful.
yeah, I think the bigger the fish is, the more profound that pain is.
Yeah, like if the flower horn died, then you would feel really
Yeah,
bad
because
about
they have a lot more personality. Like
Yeah.
I really cried
and
when
they can talk to you and stuff.
I really cried when my first fish died because I was attached to him. And even a lot of my goldfish.
How do you know whether they're boys or girls?
It depends on the species.
Like, but how? Like,
Depends. Like sometimes they have an appendage. Sometimes it depends on their fin shapes.
it's really hard to find out though, right? Or is
no,
it easy?
that depends on the species. Some species are so ambiguous that they can transition.
Really?
Snails can be males
Oh,
and
yeah, I know,
females.
I know.
So that's one thing. But like even fish, there's some fish that you can't tell what gender they are until they're in a school. So like
Then you see them mating and stuff.
they'll be 3 months old and they're neither male nor female,
Yeah,
or they're only male.
yeah.
And then once they turn like 6 months old, then they'll just decide to be female and now they're female. So it's very, I don't know. I don't want to
just
talk
like
about
humans.
this. Yeah, it's weird. This reminds me of the cover for.
I know what you're talking about. The yellow album.
I forgot the name. Something dogs. Oh no. Spotify would. Yeah. No, not for all the dogs. That's a Drake album.
Let me show you what it reminds me of.
Oh man, I should have bought this in yellow. They had it. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's basically the cover for Moonlight of the River.
Yeah,
Like the
see,
album
that's
does.
what I was saying. See, this right?
This old dog. This album is so good. It's about his dad, where he wasn't really close to his dad his entire life, but now that his dad is close to dying, it's affecting him somehow. And it didn't exactly hit home to me, but it's just an interesting concept. Knowing that it's real.
How's your relationship with your dad?
It's pretty good. I got yesterday for the first time in my life, I got a suit tailored, and I didn't realize how expensive it was. It was really expensive.
And your dad paid for it.
And he did, obviously,
Yeah.
for the engagement.
What?
And we,
Engagement, yeah.
and we walked out of the store, and I was so hesitant, but I just looked at him and I said thank you and I smiled, and he just smiled.
started
back.
crying.
No, he just.
Okay.
No, I've never seen my dad cry. I've seen him like on the verge of crying.
I've seen my dad cry once when his mom died, when my grandmother died.
I would really cry if I saw my dad cry, because my dad is very like, he doesn't show his emotions a lot, and like bro, even when I said thank you, he didn't even say like.
You're welcome.
He just smiled at me and he put his arm on my shoulder, and I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. And then like we were in Shaniwar Wada area and like Lakshmi Road and whatever, and there was like a coconut water this thing, and I don't know, like he was just like, do you guys want to have coconut water? And my mom was like, yeah, sure. And we had that moment just felt so, it's like I had a family. it felt so complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some moments when you feel really complete.
Yeah.
I think I feel really emotional with my grandfather. because I know he's old.
I saw a video you sent of him being on TV, and I'm just like, damn, if I had a grandfather like that.
Yeah, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Like, did I ever show you his business card where he has like this plate and he's spitting the plate and it's like this character of him.
I think you did.
Yeah, it's just so cute. Like, there was a grandparents association over there, right? And he's one of the grandparents in that association, and all of them
Oh,
have
yeah,
like
you said,
particular
yeah,
cards.
yeah.
It's just so cute, and for my book, again, I did research about the meaning of life for different age groups. So for the young people, it's about making new goals, looking forward to the future, and stuff like that. For the middle-aged people, it's because they're at the peak of their career.
Yeah.
They get a lot of fulfillment from that, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about that, finding their niche in life. I mean, they found it and they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
But and then for the for the elderly people, it's about looking back on their life, looking back on the past and making sense of it. And for elderly, there's a difficult struggle because they have already had their peak in life, and they're basically dealing with the loss of that, dealing with the loss of connections. Not to mention the people that they know they're dying at this age, right?
Yeah.
And they lose their they don't feel needed anymore. Like, okay, when you're a middle-aged person, let's say you have kids, then your kids depend on you, right?
Yeah.
But then when they're grown up, they don't need you anymore. And then when you lose that, when you lose your job, when you lose your family, like not lose, but like you grow distant from them, like you need them more than they need you, and that hurts on a different level. And it's really easy for them to feel alienated. So one thing that my grandfather said, which really makes me cry, is that he's like, he tells me that all the time. He's like, I'm gonna die in my house and no one's gonna find me until like a week later, and that really makes me cry. And then the last time I saw him, he's like, Sao, take care of your time, okay, because you have time. For the next time you come, I may not even be here. So it doesn't matter what I do with my time because I'm basically dead. And like, why you're not dead? It makes me so sad. Like, you're not dead, right? And it's like when you know someone, when you know an old person who's feeling that way or who might feel that way, then you have this feel to need to really take care of them, right? Like when I went on the IDS trip, there was did I tell you? There was this Aji in this village, and she was like 93 years old, and she really liked me. Okay, and she was asking me my whole story, and I just told her. I explained to her in Marathi as best as I could.
Yeah.
And then there was this other family, like even though I didn't want to eat their food, I just ate it, right, to make them happy and stuff. And then I'm like, they were like, you visit again, okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'll visit for sure, because life in that village was like so closed off, right? First of all, they don't have that much of a connection with the external world. It's like them in their own little bubble, and then they go to the big city every once in a while to get their supplies and stuff. Or their the elder sons in the family, they leave the house and they go work as government officials or like teachers and whatnot, IT people, and then they send money back to their homes. But then the women in the family and the younger kids and the older adults, they're all there together. And every night they eat dinner together. It was mainly like a farming village, right? So they farm the entire day. Everyone in their village farmed. Then they come back together and they sit together and eat. Like, isn't that such a nice like picture?
I had a lot of conversations with my dad. I feel like at one point my most memorable memories with my dad, at least so far, will be the conversations we had in his car, because I don't know, I have a recording of some of them, and it's just so, I don't know, it's very emotional to me. And this one day we were talking about death because someone in our family died, and what he said was very profound, and it's stuck with me, and it's that a person's character will kill them faster than their illness, or more effectively than their illness. And that's what I realized, that so many old people,
they think they're already dead.
That, and also, I mean, that's one thing, but another thing is they also turn into children. They become childish all over again, and that can be amazing, but also not, because
it's freaky.
It's like now you don't understand social cues again, and now you don't want to take your pills, because you're arrogant and like
Yeah.
you become rebellious again, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like a kid.
Exactly.
Everyone around you is treating you like a kid and you hate it and so you rebel.
Exactly, because you're like, oh no, I'm your father. I've taken
Yeah,
care
you
of
can't
you.
do this to me.
Yeah. So it's like these people die faster
Yeah.
because of that.
Than people who get defeated,
Yeah,
right?
and
They,
you know-
if they feel like if they take their pills, they are losing. They're declaring that they lost,
Yeah.
right? So they would rather not, and they
Yeah.
would rather die.
Yeah, and like I have thought
Hmm.
about my parents' death,
Yeah.
and what I realized was that it's nothing for me to worry about at this point
Mm.
for a long time, because like but both of my dad's parents are still alive,
Hmm.
and what I think of is that my dad will be their age one day and I will be my dad's age approximately, and that's so long. Like I'll be
Yeah.
50 and my parents will still be alive because
Yeah.
my parents probably have like another 40 years to live.
Hmm.
And that's just like that took a lot of weight off my shoulders, because I
Yeah,
felt
but-
so guilty about the way I used to poorly spend time with my parents.
Yeah. You know, another thing I realized, when our parents die, that's the age that really affects us. Like for example, my mom's dad died when she was 12. So when I was becoming 12, I was really scared. Oh my god, my dad's gonna die, right? But I passed that, and I'm like, okay, they're not gonna die anymore. And then I noticed that my dad's mom died when he was 43 or something, and I'm like, okay, I need to just wait until I'm 43, and maybe then my mom will die, but I don't want that to happen, right? But then the thing, it feels kind of stupid, right? Because there's
don't
no
un-
really destined date of them dying.
Yeah, like they could die tomorrow, but
yeah,
it's just
and
like
that's really scary. But like to give yourself a peace of mind, you're like, no, they have like
yeah,
like decades more,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then they might not, and they might.
yeah,
So it's like this gamble, and you don't want to take that gamble. So I've realized that the best I can, I mean, I'll treat them the best I can in every moment, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I really can't give them my best because they're being horrible to me, but
yeah,
other times I'll try.
yeah. There's a there's a song by Kanye West called Big Brother, and one of the lyrics in the end is, if you admire somebody, you should go ahead and tell them. Some people never get the flowers while they can still smell them. I love this song, but
Yeah.
that part is just like, I don't like, I want to tell my dad how much I appreciate him for all the things he's taught me, and that for every single time he's been horrible to me, that it's okay,
Yeah.
that you weren't perfect too. And it's just I don't know, like it's making me more emotional than I thought it would. Like at
Yeah.
this moment,
Yeah.
it's like I feel it in my chest,
Yeah.
and
And it's really like it's also you feel that you want to say something, but then you spend so much of your time not saying anything that it's weird to
it's
just
so
say
hard
something.
to say it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh, something's wrong with you, right?
yeah,
And even though you don't want it to be that way,
yeah.
but
Like
when the time is right, you'll appreciate them.
there is no right time.
Yeah. But like with my mom, I always try to like open up to her, but I just never can.
There's this song called Levitation by Beach House, and one of the lyrics is just, there is no right time, and she just
Yeah.
repeats that, and it's so, because usually you say, oh, there's no such thing as wrong time.
Yeah.
It's just, every time is the right time,
Yeah.
but there is no right time. It's so I cried to it.
Yeah. And one thing that's really conflicting is when you see your parents